Yeah. Just watch the villager and watch how many archers are going to hit. Yeah. Look the villager. Don't die.
Ladies and gents, let's go on in. Alrighty, so Wham opening up on the Sengoku Dynasty. So in this best of 5, what is very important for these guys is that they are going to show us how they've adapted with these new civilizations. So Wham opening up the Sengoku and Louis with the Macedonian. Both of these guys blind picked their new civilizations. And what we've been seeing as a constant is that people are opening with the Matsuri as the opening move of the game. And what's really interesting here is Wham is not rallying his villagers onto food like we usually see. Oh my goodness. Wham is rallying his villagers forward. So Wham, right now, rallying forward because there's a Whamenqt stronghold that's being built. Now, Louis is playing very, very aggressively here. The thing is, Whamenqt strongholds are quite expensive. As we can see, it's 200 wood. So luckily, Wham was a scouty boy and he went to see what was coming, but not deviating from his plan. We can see with his Matsuri, he's opened just enough to get his Yatai going as well. But the Whamenqt stronghold as an opening keeps 2 villagers active. And as we can see, this one villager that is trying to build it, he wanted to do it on top of some huntable deer here. Now, these 2 villagers, they are going to do quite a bit of damage to the Whamenqt stronghold, and Louis might lose a significant chunk of that wood. But if you consider how much is invested into keeping these 2 villagers idle, I must say, I think this is worth it for Louis already. Now, Louis opens here with a Whamenqt war camp as well. Now, the Whamenqt war camp increases your maximum population, which, kind of makes it a house, right? So the house is 50, Whamenqt war camp is 50, and that already ensures that you don't need to make that first house of yours to make it worth it, even though it doesn't serve a purpose for now. Now, as we can see, he's pulled a second villager onto this already, and Louis is snacking. Now, this is what I absolutely love to see between these 2 guys, because Louis is someone who we used to meme him for his walls and how passive he plays. But this is already showing a different side to him. Maybe just experimenting a bit. But these villagers did get their Whamenqt stronghold up, and they idled out a piece of this economy for so long. Wham here now having to put a lot of villagers onto gold because it's just a matter of time before the units start popping out. And as we can see, the Atgermajir is out already, and this bad boy is going to be swinging. This is just a spearman. He's got a pretty fancy stick, absolutely disgusting. Yes, Crackety, we are here to figure out how people are really playing these new civilizations. Now, with one of these guys, he's able to push off the villagers from gold, but we can see Wham already got the gold he needed. He wants a little bit more though, because, once these things start coming out, there is going to be a significant destruction over here on the gold, especially with the villager here. You have that constant pressure of just having a tower popping up right after. Now the Yatai, he has collected quite a bit of food here on the side and just living his best life here, getting all the passive resources with his little influence. And you can see he doesn't mind taking a little bit of a beating here because, of course, it's a Yatai. He's got a lot of health and he just gets to go and repair villages at the ready. Now, a lot of people are going for exactly the same landmark with the Sengoku dynasty from the get-go, and that is the Koka Township. We see that exactly here from Wham. Now, what I'm really excited about is seeing the Imperial Hippodrome here from Louis. Now, if we look at the difference between these 2, the Imperial Hippodrome, we've seen it with the normal Byzantines, right? It's a landmark that you can produce horses with, but this one, what makes it a little bit different is that you get 3 free units. You get a spicy scout, you get a spicy horseman-ish, and you get a spicy knight-ish. I'm going to keep calling them like that. So with all of these, you already get a lot of pressure compared to what your opponent is going to be able to get. Now, the Yatai, he gets to move back, and I want you guys to notice how he still is getting quite a bit of resources here, even though he's not in his optimal deer patch. So this early Yatai is just ensuring that there's constant food economy for Wham, even though he doesn't need as many villagers over there on food. A barracks is now being popped down. And this is going to be a really nice way to seal the deal with the Coca Township. The Coca Township, a little bit different from our old Japanese Coca Townships. This one will allow you to spawn shinobis at one of your buildings or in one of your stealth forests. Aksar, thank you very much for the raid. Appreciate it. Now, Forge in this case is being harassed quite a bit. But the whole point of this Varangian stronghold is just to ensure that the Yatai doesn't get all the resources he wants. That's most likely why I put it here on the deer. But it's also a pretty expensive unit, or a pretty expensive building to let go. The thing is, this is not just any stronghold. This is a spicy stronghold. This is like a tower, which is a barracks and an archery range, etc., etc. The thing is now, this thing is getting arrows, and this is now going to become a tower on top of the gold. And we can see the villagers now pushing out to try and get the tower up to ensure that there's no more units popping out here. But Wham may have forgotten that this thing is going to start firing back and one of the villagers is going to go down. This is something he did not account for. We can see instantly the shinobis trying to do something about this. They're trying to harass the spearmen by slowing it down, throwing those little grenades. It slows down and it takes a bit more damage here. Well, we can now see this is the problem with this thing is now it's just a tower. It blocks the gold completely and the villagers now need to think about doing something else. Louis behind this though, he's gotten his spicy scout and this is just like a Malian scout. It's got 7 attack and honestly, there is a lot of problems that can be accompanied with a very spicy Malian scout. The problem is, for Wham, there is another champion currently in the tournament, which means that we are just going to be getting another unit that Louis gets for free. And this adds up pretty quickly. As we can now see the archers pushing away these guys, but he heals up as well. So even though this Hippodrome Scout is already free, it's already stronger, it can heal itself as well. Now, what we are going to be looking at here is seeing a double tower investment. Now, usually if you see a double in tower investment such as this, it tells you, hey, my opponent needs a lot of gold. And the only reason we need so much gold is usually when we want to go and age up. Or you want to just pump out a lot of upgrades. But considering Louis doesn't have units to accompany upgrades, so that is unfortunately going to mean that Wham is going to be dealing with a little bit of a spicy castle Macedonian dynasty. So in this case, we are going to be seeing Wham moving out now with his units, trying to get a little bit of control back. The problem is this gold is completely covered. There is a Varangian stronghold on top of it. And this is going to be really hard to take back. The scout knows he's in charge here. He just gets to go harass. And with Wham not investing in a tower on this gold, the scout is going to have a field day. Again, just getting a ton of idle time here. The villagers try pulling back. The units are luckily in position. But the scout, even if he just gets a hit or two off, he gets to back off and live his best life. Now with a single archer, or a bogmajir, the Bogmajir is coming very good, very aggressive, and doing a little bit of raiding, yes. Now, behind all of this, we can see the Varangian arsenal has its first upgrade. Increase the armor of all cavalry by 1 and health by 5%. So already, we know what's going to be happening from Louis. Louis is going for a very heavy cavalry composition. Wham still has 15 on wood, which just signifies, hey, we are going to get a little bit more wood for all our necessities. The thing is, with all of this wood, he can involve himself into the Yatai economy. The Yatai is a pretty safe way to keep getting food. The problem is just, there's no Yatai benefit in his base right now. This one is currently on a few berry bushes and sheep that will be running out soon. This one moving out a little bit further. But the problem is, with it moving out this far, Louis is going to have a pretty good time at shutting this down. Now, with the Hippodrome Horseman, he's looking for a little bit of an attack. And I see there are some questions in the chat. So what this is basically, I like to cast things a little bit more noob-friendly so that you can understand what's going on and it is not all super confusing. So both of these being new civilizations in Age of Empires, they are a little bit undiscovered. And I think Wham is about to find out that System of the First Heal is going to be hitting quite hard. Let's go read what it does. Charge is an ability used for boosting the work rate of military and research buildings. If used on a mining camp, lumber camp, or farm, begin earning 160 gold, food, or wood over 60 seconds. Holds 9 charges. Now, what's interesting for me is that we'll see how quickly this thing charges up. The Golden Horn Tower is a defensive landmark. It's like putting a keep wherever you want it. But it doesn't do as much as the Cistern at the moment, because the Cistern, let's go see what he does first with it. So, charges 3 right now, and he can now produce things much, much faster. But we see the first unit coming out is going to be the Radari. Now, he does lose the stronghold to a pretty heavy army investment here from Wam. Wam now feeling confident enough to push out, because he knows my opponent just invested a ton of resources into going to castle. This is the moment I have to push out and actually do some damage. So he is going to go and do exactly that. And with the army numbers that we see here from Wam, this feels like he could have a pretty solid connection here. The problem is now, these outposts, they are going to be providing quite a bit of protection against these very, very squishy units. You can see he doesn't want to overinvest in this at all. But behind it, Louis is just producing. The problem is his food is running a little bit low. He does still have the berries out here. So he's not completely helpless, but these 2 towers are going to need to hold back the units for a while. The horses, though, they look like they are ready for a fight. And you can see Wam already moving a little bit back as he realizes that this army is going to suffer some losses if he keeps engaging into it. Both these outposts being just reinforced with a little arrow slit doesn't mean that it's going to be too helpful against massive units. But the problem is, for Wam, Louis is going to be aggressive. And Wam doesn't feel confident enough in his units to actually find the damage he needs. So he has to pull the army back as he's going for castle himself. We see 10 on gold, 25 over here, which just means that this man is focused directly on going for castle right now too. So, between these 2 boys, Louis, he's got a pretty scary army here. The Radari, they are knights, right? A little bit of a knight we got here. The difference is, they've got a little ability here. And if you activate said ability, they become ranged knights. And things just spiral out of control completely, especially if you have villagers out here on a resource. These guys now looking for a little bit of an opening, and they will find the army or just the gate. But we can see that this is not going to be an easy time for either of them. Wam, though, he's looking for a little bit of damage himself with the Yari cavalry, and Wam's units are in position. We see the villagers respecting this, though. The sake brewery is popped down, and now he puts it out here. And the sake brewery is just like for Japan, we have our usual farms that spawn around. This is spawning gold, and getting that gold spawn is going to be great, especially with the Matsuri influence. The Matsuri building gives your villagers an extra bit of gathering speed, especially with every yatai delivering food to there. Now, these horses are desperately looking for a way in, but Louis is not finding the luck just yet. The thing is, it doesn't look like he's earing away from anything here except for horses. So, now, with all of that, we have a pretty heavy army here. Now, with all of these horses, Louis, though, the man is running and looking for damage, but at the same time, he has to respond to Wam's raids, because Wam, if he sits in his base, he dies. And he knows this. He needs to make sure that Louis' army is pulled all the way back to his base. And Haksar, go for it. You don't need to ask permission. It's all good. Now, with the sake brewery, as we can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gold positions spawned here. And all these villages are inspired by the Matsuri. Now, you can see how much the Matsuri influence is already at, but with all of these horses, Wam needs an answer, and he needs it now. We see him having a lot of resources here, but desperately trying to get some samurais out. The problem is, those are going to take a while. These are not the samurais from their base civilization. Japan, they usually have a little inspiration on the stable, which means they come out a little bit faster. But now, Wam needs to be careful. But again, Wam knows what's going on this map. At the same time, Louis is being spicy already on his 4th relic. And now, with 4 relics, he is going to be generating a ton of gold. Already 239 gold per minute from having all these relics picked up on the map. There's only one more safe one for Wham, but it doesn't look like Wham has any idea that the relic war has begun. Wham now focus on getting these horses, those archers barely doing any damage to them, and this army is starting to get quite a bit scarier. Wham knows though, if I engage into this, I'm dead. So he ensures that he gets those horses out on the map and tries to keep Louis away from his base. Now with the samurais, these things start to be a little bit different, but as we can see, those Rodari just activated their throwing axes and they got a pretty good shot off here on the mounted samurai. And just like that, things get a little bit less optimal here for him. Now, with these guys, Louis now ensuring that he gets every bit of resource on the map while he can. And this is good, because Louis is going to be struggling for food in a bit. We see 460 food per minute now. He's already switching over to Bogmadir, which is just archers. And like that, he's going to have an answer to all of these spears that Wham has transitioned into. Now, with Wham transitioning into this many spears, Louis is going to need a lot of archers pretty quickly, and that's exactly what he does here. Varangian Stronghold also being built here to act as yet another tower. Because again, these barracks, they are like towers, so they do have quite a bit of value here. 5 villagers in this tower will go down though, and this is a pretty significant loss. We can see that Louis is already looking for doing some damage against this. So, with these civilizations coming out as brand new, again, these players don't know the capacity of each of these. So, with a lot of the time when we have these guys playing, we're gonna learn things on this too. Anatan, thank you for the raid, appreciate it. But the problem is, the Rodari, they are quite spicy, and we can see he's already gotten quite a bit of defense here. So these guys are not going to care about a few archers firing at them. But you can see him baiting it out just enough to get the archers to move into a little bit of a raiding position, and at the same time, the spears need to be so good at kiting backwards and forwards. Now, Wham here, living his best life with all of the army here at the back, not revealing what he has just yet. But one thing I want you guys to notice is, he has not used this Cocker Township the way we've been seeing from players. So the Cocker Township, like we said before, it can spawn shinobis. The thing is, those shinobis are free, and you want to use them on cooldown. But he hasn't been able to. He's been so overwhelmed by what Louis is doing. And him being able to spawn shinobis from here would change the game immediately. But he's careful. He has to pull back. The Yaptai also being pulled back now. He's not getting into a fun position for himself. And the farm transition doesn't look too good for Wham just yet. But he does have the food per minute on his side. Now, Louis is trying to break through, and it does look like he will find a little hole, and the hole has been made. The spearman, though, he is going to need to kite backwards as these guys can do significant damage. Louis, though, with his 26 archers, this is going to be so tough for Wham to win. But we see a lot of samurais also looking to connect, and those samurais, when they get on top of these archers, this becomes a pretty tough fight. Now samurais are looking to make a connection, but the amount of Rodari here is so significant, and it looks like they're going to be turning around. The spearmen here, we see instantly the shinobis being summoned, and these shinobis are going to be critical, because these guys are going to debuff a significant portion of this army if they have the ability to catch up. And the grenades fall. They are already debuffing some of these units, but it does look like Louis has quite a bunch. The Rodari Hippodome Horsemen also going down now. But the problem is the spearmen numbers have kind of disappeared. And with all these upgrades on the horses, this was a pretty good fight here for Louis. And not something I think Wham actually expected at all. We can see Wham now pulling back these samurais. And him pulling back like this, he's probably a little bit confused as to how all those samurais just fell like flies. Now, the archers here from Louis, the numbers are not plentiful, but he doesn't need them. Right now, he's just doubling down on the horses and ensuring that these guys are going to find a little bit of damage. Now, These Radaris, they have done a significant portion of damage, and with Louis now having 4 relics and the Sacred Site, the gold per minute is most likely just passive. 0 villages on gold, and you can see he's floating a lot. There's absolutely nothing he gets to spend the gold on because he's got everything a man could ever dream of. So, now, the question is just where Louis' attack is going to land, because those samurais that Wham keeps investing in, they might feel okay, but the problem is this army is showing us exactly they're made for this, and they can actually handle this pretty well. So, another Yatai being pulled back in this moment, and it does look like these bad boys are going to be hit by a very unspicy TC. The TC not doing much, especially with all that armor. You can see with all these upgrades, that's the beautiful part of the Macedonian Empire now. You spend silver on the upgrades, or it still shows oil, but you spend silver. And just like that, your upgrades are already +3 in Castle Age, which is pretty crazy. Now the samurai is looking for a counterattack, but the thing is now, usually when a pro player pushes out like this, the other player has to ask himself, am I going to go and defend this? Or am I going to go and raid your base? Now, it does look like Louis wants to defend this because he saw the horse battle a little bit earlier and he knew how this could end. So, with the samurais making the way through, we have to keep in mind, Louis is down a few vills, but the problem is, Louis has all the relics. He's got the passive resources. He is in a pretty decent spot here. And with all of these being housed in monasteries, he's a very happy goose. These samurais, they're running into the base, but they haven't really found anything. They found a horse here, and as we can see, this horse will not be fighting a lovely fight as more join the battle. Now, these guys also trying to find some damage. They've all been split off, but because Louis has so many units, the A-move mechanic of getting your units to actually do damage on these packs of villagers are non-existent. And Louis pulling all of his villagers into a safer position for himself. Now, the horses are still looking for damage, but Wham's income has completely dropped compared to Louis'. And Louis is now on 1,400 food per minute. It does not feel too good for this man. Oh, for Wham at least. He is happily chopping away on his gold. He's got passive gold, or passive. He's got free gold over here. But one problem is, this area is not safe from raids. The Matsuri already getting the maximum improvement on the villagers, as we see 30%. So this should mean that the next Matsuri should be out already. And you can see that he's instantly made sure that the rest of his deliveries go to this one, so that this can also slowly be inspired. Right now, this Matsuri does not provide any bonuses. Now with the horses, he's still trying to find some damage, but we can see Louis is not losing anything. Even if he loses a handful of vills, he isn't losing any horses, and very quickly, at 37 of them, you can quickly move out and destroy your opponent's whole economy. This area, again, it's got a few towers, but it is not protected enough to withstand an army that looks like that. And as we can see, the horses just constantly being picked up, the mounted samurai looking to find a little bit of damage, and they are just struggling to do so. Outpost here on the sacred site, now getting a mangonel upgrade as well. That means that these samurais are going to take quite a bit of damage already, and they are so expensive. You cannot afford to lose these. These are just so tough to fight against when Radaris here are also just flooding the field. Now, with the 3 sacred sites ticking off, we have 5 minutes on the timer, and it looks like Louis is putting Wham in a pretty tough spot, because Wham, most likely here, just doesn't feel like he can do any damage to his opponent here. So instantly now, his opponent not really getting damaged by anything he's doing. And that is a pretty tough spot to be in. Palatine's School now coming up, and imagine having 37 Radaris, or knights, and being able to go for the Palatine School in this position. That feels pretty good. So the Palatine School is going to put him in a spot where he can now upgrade these to Imperial. And Elite Radaris is going to be a lot harder to handle than anything that Wham can put out in Castle. The thing is, Louis doesn't even need to go and engage here. Louis is just going to be able to sit back and protect these sacred sites because he's already got that ticking for him as well. Now, from the whole game that we've seen so far, one thing I wanted to note is the fact that Wham is playing the civilization and people are saying it's going to be a problem. And I'm sure it is, especially if you can utilize some of these landmarks like the Coca Township a little bit more actively. The problem is, Wham hasn't been able to do so because he's been responding to 6 million attacks here by the Macedonian dynasty. Macedonian dynasty just looking like it's in such a good spot when it comes to actually trying to shut down any type of greedy play by his opponent. Samurais now desperately trying to decap the sacred site. As we can see, these towers are reinforced and they're going straight for the tower here, trying to burn this down. It's going to be quite critical. The problem is the reinforcements are right here, and behind it, those horses we kept talking about, they already are very close to their upgrade too. And you can see just trying to get this tower down. Remember that choice he gets to make? He gets to make the choice of, am I going to defend this or am I just going to go destroy your whole economy? And it looks like he's going to go defend. He realizes I can still stop this. And my tower, even though it's not in prime position, it's still very much alive. The walls are ensuring that he's not going to get out of this alive. And Wham about to lose his whole army to a bunch of elite Radaris. Absolutely disgusting. The boys falling like flies one by one. And he has had enough. Honestly, I'm a little bit worried here if I look at the Macedonian Empire. I don't know how it went over there with KP's matches today. But from what I've seen on the server, people are showing that the Macedonian Empire is actually pretty decent at doing any type of playstyle. They get to be a little bit greedier. They actually just get to dictate what the other civilization has to respond to. And I think this is going to make them a little bit of a harder civilization to deal with. I just want to take a moment here to talk about those previous civilizations that we had. When we look at Sengoku Dynasty is looking like they have a lot of benefits and it's really hard to shut them down. Macedonian, they get to go for a little bit of aggression and then into a fast castle, which honestly, it does feel like a pretty good power spike. But the problem is, it didn't feel like they did any damage with it initially. So maybe that is not going to be too much of an issue. But let's go look at the next ones as well. We now have the Taklak Dynasty, which is the Elephant Civilization, and the Golden Horde, which is Mongols with walls. Inquisitivity. What kind of map is this? Oh, that's a great question. I was playing this map as well, and it's something. It's something. How am I doing? I'm doing well. I'm just, I forgot how exhausting it can be to just talk by yourself. So, yes. Can we take a look at the governors? Oh, we will. We will. So, this map, I felt like I had a few bugged spawns. Now, this is something I've played a few times. I like this map. I don't think I like it for the right reasons. I don't know what I'm doing with it. But it feels like there could be some sneaky plays here. The thing is, I forgot that Coca-Cola actually has gas. The thing is, when you get to a map like this, it's very easy to overcommit on water because you see, oh, deep sea fish. So this is, I guess, would be regarded as a water map. I guess, would be regarded as a hybrid. But the problem is, water is not the key focus here. You can make a few plays with it, but also the spawns are sometimes a little bit bugged. So when you try to put a dock down, it doesn't work in every corner. So it does sometimes have a few problems, but it looks like this spawn did generate correctly. So the Golden Horde, I can't comment too much on just yet. I think it's a little bit less aggressive than Mongols because they do benefit from sitting back and actually using that economy instead of just slamming your head into your opponent. The thing is, when you're up against something like the Taklak Dynasty, there's also not a lot you can do to really do optimal damage to them, I say, as I'm watching this man chop wood in Dark Age, and Wham making a dock. So Wham definitely feeling like the water is worth investing on. Now let's go look here back at Louis' base and see what he's felt like. He also has quite a bit of wood here, but when he opens with the uwu, I can apparently imagine that it is going to be a dock opening. So both of these players, there's deep sea fish, they're going to go for the docks. And it makes sense, especially when you don't know if there's going to be any significant damage you can do against your opponent, at least in the early game. Now, Wham, as we can see, not in a position to make fishing boats just yet, but keep in mind, this is pseudo Delhi. And if you guys remember, and I don't think anyone does remember this, but these fishing boats are not normal fishing boats. They are aggressive fishing boats. They can actually fire, because we don't see Delhi on water, right? So Delhi is not a civilization we ever got to see on water. But now Taklak is going to be making their appearance here. And this could just be because these guys are testing it out. Now, Louis queuing his first fishing ship up, and we already have the first one popping out for Wham. So a little bit of a better timing here for Wham, but you have to keep in mind that Louis has already gotten quite a bit of stone here. So it will probably be worth it here for Louis to have gone for the uwu first into the dock right after. Now, we can see still investing onto wood, and this means that we are most likely going to see at least 3 fishing ships before he starts transitioning into going for gold. Now, what makes Taklak a little bit more interesting as a civ is their upgrades only take 5 seconds. They're a little bit more expensive, but they do upgrade in 5 seconds. So all of a sudden, if you decided on it, you could go for a wheelbarrow in 5 seconds. And just like that, your units are going to be hitting very, very differently. Louis still on the wood himself, so we're going to get a few more fishing boats. And we see another one queued up, and Wham queuing up a double one here. So he's going for 4 fishing boats, and now moving over to gold over here. Now, when you get to this number of fishing boats, you get to sacrifice a few of your villagers that maybe were on the berries by now just using them to go onto the gold. Now, with the wondrous invention of worker elephants, they don't need to actually invest in building a mining camp. They just get to move their elephant from the berries to the gold. And that's how we get to a wonderful position where you can just get your resources denied and decide, hey, I will go the other way. Now, he's got already the 5th boat on the way. And what I want you guys to notice is that fishing boats here are showing as military units. Now, this is not the case for Mongols, because these guys can actually fire that 1 arrow we talked about a little bit earlier. But at the same time, Louis is just making fishing boats that don't fire arrows. So don't be too concerned about the fishing boats not showing up on both sides. They both have fishing boats. It is just a different variety of fishing boat. Now, Dome of the Earth of Dome of the Faith is coming out. Now, this Dome of the Faith is a little bit different again from the original civilization, which is Delhi. They give healer elephants as well. Imams and healer elephants. But I don't think an imam is going to be too necessary early on in the game. Healer elephants are a much spicier variety, and they do change the game significantly, because those healer elephants, they heal in more than one at a time. Oh, look at that. The scout trying to get a little bit of damage done, but you can see the fishing boats, they are firing back. Ooh. And this is pretty smart from Louis, just getting a little bit of idle time on those fishing boats as well. But already 7 fishing boats here from Wham. The question is just if this is a little bit of an overinvestment instead of going for a bit more gold to try and get upgrades or healer elephants. Now, Wham has the 9th fishing boat on the way, and he's about to hit Feudal Age. The problem is, with him going Feudal Age now, he is going to be playing against Golden Horde on water, and he's invested quite a bit onto the food already. The problem is, Golden Horde takes ages to age up. As we can see here, 136, just like just like we see with Abbasid and Aeobits, they don't really have a way to speed this up. And this makes this a little bit less aggressive than we usually see out of Mongols. They don't get to be like, hey, I'm going feudal now. I'm aging up with 6-7 villagers. It's going to be quick. They have to stick to their timing. And now, Wham, he gets to make military boats. But instead, he decides to go for spearmen. So now, making spearmen and going for his healer elephants. Now, the reason you want to go for healer elephants paired with spearmen is because, as you can see here, it gains additional damage from nearby melee infantry and captures sacred sites. So, getting into a spot where your units are going to be able to do that, it makes it a lot harder to handle in this case. And give me 1 second, I need to add Corvinus in here and share my game with him so that he can watch. Hello, sir. So, I heard you destroyed your opponent earlier.
My first real games against a player, can you imagine?
Really? Have you just been theory crafting?
Yeah, but honestly with you, the new series are crazy, like actually crazy.
Okay. And between the ones that I have on my screen here, Tarklek and Golden Horde, do you feel like they are in different spots at the moment?
Yeah, like, so let me tell you. If you are not considering that they're playing water, right? If you are considering this is a land, the clock is, I mean, on water as well. They are the new KT. Okay, just listen to me. They are literally the new KT on water.
Why?
And because they don't need a drop of building to build, right? They don't need to build lumber camp. They have the elephant and that's it. And also they are dropping off extra wood, even though they really don't have something to increase the wood getter rate, but they already have increased wood income because they are dropping off more in the Dark Age, right? Also because the elephant is always there where the villagers are, and it's literally Katie again. Like literally, the economy is literally just like Katie. And because of that, how easily and fast they can build up. After that, they go with the healer elephant, just like what we can see on the screen. And that healer elephant does magic.
Yeah? Like healing magic.
Healing magic. I had like 5 of them, and I was building a keep inside the Myriad base. And with 26 archer, he couldn't kill a single of my villager.
Because they just out-heal all of it?
They just out-heal the archers.
Oh no. Oh no. So this...
Yeah.
So Wham now going for the second one here is just going to mean that Louis is going to need a lot more than 4 archers to do anything to the spears?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also, don't forget that if he reach 4 or 5 of them, he can just stay under the TC and take no damage at all.
Okay. I actually have tested that, and it feels pretty disgusting, but... The one thing that I was a little bit surprised about is the Raider elephants. They don't feel as impactful as I expected them to be.
They are really good. The reason behind that, because their active ability easily helps you to reach to the siege if the enemy has siege like Mangoner or Spingold, because Trample removes the hitbox for the unit. So it's literally like you have Cutterfrog, but you are controlling where you are trampling, while if you have Cutterfrog, you just go in and you can't leave anymore, right? With this, you can enter in behind the enemy front line and also come back in time.
Oh my god. That spearman took a lot of shots, and he's still very healthy. Oh no. The second one has arrived.
He's not losing unit.
And behind this, he's just slowly pushing out on the water and trying to shut Louis down, and Louis can't do anything about this.
I was even thinking like maybe we should not really play this save on the content creator view, because it's insane.
Give me 1 second. I just need to turn the game volume down a little bit, turn you up a little bit, and there we go. Okay.
Cool. So yeah, right now I can tell you that like 2 o'clock is really in a tough luck. So it's really strong right now, and I hope it's not gonna release like this on the first day, aka on 4th of November, because if it does, oh, look at that, that's so good. Now, so the reason why it's so good, okay, he didn't do what you actually need to do. So basically, you can just skip the hitbox of the villager, just get in front of it, right, while you are trampling, and you can literally just stop them going to the TC, because after that you are just body blocking when the trample is done.
So basically now, even though the healer elephants, the healer elephant, the raider elephants are not as great against buildings. That's not what they care about. They just get to deny resources and go under the TC at this point. We see the TC firing at all these units and they're barely taking any damage. Oh gosh. So
yeah, it's only 2 of them.
Is this a similar issue on land as well? Or do you think that they're actually possible to defeat on land?
I can see a simple, like a single way to defeat this on them. So I can tell you that the only game I lost in Riyadh was when he played with Tough Luck. Or to block. So, like, I can't. Like, this save, this cannot be released like that. I think, so the reason behind that, I was thinking, because the stat of the healer elephant doesn't change when you reach H3. What does it mean? It means that healer elephant actually has the H3 stats in feudal. Yeah. I don't think that's a good idea.
So if they brought them to a feudal version of the healer elephants, it would probably be okay?
Fine, yeah, and I think it's perfectly fine, because 450 HP, just took it down to 300, and it's gonna be still fine as a unit. It's not even expensive, it's just 300 resources, and just think about it. You spend 300 resources, and you save insane amount of resources all the time, right? Like, you can save like 2,000-3,000 resources with the 300 resources you are spending on the elephant.
Because you keep healing up units that are a little bit bruised already in feudal age. Now, we can actually see that Louis is trying to find some level of damage, but he's just walking into more and more healer elephants because there's no way for him to out-sustain this.
As you can see, he's controlling the macro very well, aka Wam, setting the elephants correctly. And on another Uwu falls, he already lost that Uwu once, and he gonna lose it again. That's again a crazy amount of resource loss. Now the elephants are connecting as well, which is amazing. Oh, look at that! He's going into the archers, but I think he aim moved it, which a little bit of a mistake, because you really need to pass the archers to get the trample damage on them, but you can see the damage is huge. They are doing crazy amount of damage to the ranged units.
And now with 4 healer elephants, that was the number you mentioned earlier about being able to dive TCs. This is probably going to be the case for a little fortified outpost as well. Now, it does look like with this army, Louis realizes he needs to find a little bit of damage. The problem is this is not a Mongols with a heal that you usually get from the Kurultai if you get to H3 even. So these are going to be bruised horses. Unless they... Yeah, there's no way for them to even heal up. It's only Keshiks that heal up when they attack, right?
Yes, exactly.
So these guys are sitting ducks, and Wham is already going to the next stage. Water, however... Water seems to be pretty divided between the two. Do you think that this map is going to be a situation where players are going to have water divided in the end? Or do you think there's always going to be action on water?
I think they're gonna just realize, okay, that's not worth of my time, so let's stop doing this, and rather focus on land. They're just gonna let each other to, okay, you can get their food, I can get their food. We are not going to one point to another. So I think people are gonna harass each other a little bit early on, and after that they're just gonna give up. That's like what they did, because they haven't made a new army ship on water for a long time. Like Wam is sitting on 2 Springer ship and 2 archer ship, and LoueMT is sitting on 1 archer ship and 1 Springer ship. So they just keep making fishing ships.
And I think with the deep water fish that you also have this far out, it's also going to have a little bit of a spike and then just hit back down as the food income plummets a bit. But the question is now just Louis with his long age ups. Is there any answer he has to Wham's power spike the moment he hits castle? Because Wham's civilization also gets to go for 5-second upgrades. So he's going to have castle units by the time Louis is like, oh, he's castle. What do I do?
So the funny thing, Wam is gonna be actually Imperial and Louis just clicks to get to castle, because don't forget that the Golden Horde, each age they are going up, the age up actually increases. So it takes way longer. Look at it, 2 minutes and 5 seconds to age up. It's not like like a good way to hoard up for 2 minutes while elephants are coming to your base.
So basically, Wham realizes this. He realizes Louis doesn't have an answer to this. And he's definitely not going to have an answer to Imperial Age units, but he is getting his upgrades. He's being a little bit responsible about this and getting some war elephants as well. But with 28 on gold, that tells me Imperial.
It's gonna be either Imperial or just gonna make like 10 War Elephant and just GG the game, because having War Elephant and Healer Elephant at the same time, well, good luck, have fun with that.
And he also already got the elephant upgrade for them to move faster. Do you think that the elephant caretaker's upgrade is actually a good upgrade to get, or is it not even necessary with the healer elephants?
Not really necessary. I would rather go with the collateral damage because it gives them so... Oh, that was a mistake. He shouldn't have done that. It was too early to use the trample ability. But it's fine. Players are still trying to figure out how the ability works, because you can clearly see Wham is just trying it out, trying to get the feeling of it. But the way you actually want to use the trample is that you are non-stop running, right? Okay. So you are not stopping to attack the unit, because if you stop, you are not in the aura of the damage.
And is there anything in this packet that Louis can do to actually shut this down, or is...
No. That's Jover. This is Jover. Like, there is literally... Even if he ages up, like, there is nothing he can do. Like, absolutely nothing. The tower goes down, and after that, I'm pretty sure he can focus the landmark or the town center.
And
even if he ages up, he cannot get extra ranged armor, not even melee armor, so... And only for the heavy units. So not for spearmen or horsemen, only Kashik, Torgud, heavy men-at-arm, I think a Khan as well.
And you can see Wham is looking for the engagement at this moment as well. He tries to go in a little bit. The healer elephants are tanking at the back, and 450 HP. Yeah.
That's a mistake. He has to get out because the healer elephant need to be in the back. He has to push in with the war elephant. And also, oh, look, trample! And no. He should just right-click behind the units, and they would... I mean, this is good as well, because he's killing it. But imagine if he just walked through of them, right? So, trample was a good idea, but as I said before, the game is over. The elephant's gonna clear up everything, and well, we can call this the Elephant Dynasty.
Oh, good God! I didn't realize it would be this much of a stomp the moment this hits. Oh, that's crazy. Let's quickly hop back into the next one. So, Corvinus, now House of Lancaster has been changed significantly this patch, though. And do you still think it's a pretty good power pick in most setups?
Honestly, I have never tried the new House of Lancaster because I'm just spamming Katie and beating people left to right on rank ladder as well. Okay. I think maybe not bad, but I was making the calculation, and to reach back the old good House of Lancaster with the manors and everything, you need at least 33 villager total, so you have the same economy as you had before, but that takes a little bit of time, right? So it was a huge nerf. I don't think they are as strong as they were before, and also the manors cost more as well, so it's a really complicated answer to give, since House of Lancaster was a civilization that was like, okay, I don't need to use my brain, I can just deactivate it and do whatever I want, right? So it's like literally just brain fog. So right now you literally have to calculate where you are building your manors and have your villagers always under the manor influence, because as soon as you are leaving the influence, you are generating less resources, which means you are not really utilizing your economy, your seed bonus.
Okay. And let me just quickly see. Generate an additional 4 food and 2 wood for each nearby villager. Okay. So basically with manors, you would put them on resources. So for example, between a gold and a wood. And that would be the position for your manors, and eventually switch to having farms around them.
Exactly. And also it works like Rus hunting cabins. What does it mean? As soon as it claims villager, a second manor can claim the same villager.
So if your villager moves out of that range, it's just not going to produce as many resources, but it also cannot be claimed by a different manner.
No. So if the villager enters the manor number 1 circle, but leaves the circle and enters number 2, then number 2 will claim that villager.
Okay.
But as soon as it leaves and goes back to number 1, only that manor can claim it, which means you can't stack them.
Okay, that's smart. That's smart. They thought about this properly. Now, Sengoku, on the other hand, goodness, I think a lot of people were more worried about Sengoku, and I think you and I also talked to Zero Empires about this. Sengoku is a civ that shows a lot of potential. It is going to be a little bit harder to play, but it does feel pretty strong as well, especially with the Yatta. You usually don't get an answer to this, but you can see. I feel like, let me just switch these guys around. Louis is already getting blocked a little bit by Wham's play here with the Spearman. And I mean, the Spearman has always been an old build, but at the same time, he's not able to shut down the food per minute that comes out of these, no matter what he does. So...
And also, not just that, like, if we decided to... Okay, so you can see players are not really familiar with the style yet. Because you can actually sell resources inside the Matsuri. So he could have just sell a little bit of resource to age up.
Yeah, because he has so much extra food, he could just go for it. Okay. Yeah, Dark Age Market is not something anyone signs up for.
As soon as people figure it out, so right now, I can tell you that, it's like having a PhD in Sengoku Dynasty. It's like what we had before with the Byzantine, right?
Yeah.
Like everyone was saying that, oh yeah, you need PhD to play Byzantine. It's literally the same thing with Sengoku Daimyo, and as soon as people... Ooh, that's a villager loss. That's huge.
Okay. Villager lost, but you have the Yatai. Doesn't that just make up for it?
Yeah, but think about it, that he had to spend so much time to build a tower, and he is still not aging, while Wam is going to feudal age in like a few seconds.
And he's getting his manor economy ready. Okay. Now, I think this is triple Yatai. Is it, single? No, it's just 2 Yatai. Ooh, is there an overlay for this? Oh my goodness. No, we only have 2
Yatai. It is 2 Yatai, yes, but at the same time, no, 3 Yatai, because I can see on the right side, So it is 3 Yatai, but that's a mistake, because you actually want to make only 2 Yatai, and you only need to use the wood around your TC, or you can get to the wood on the wood line as well, why not? But it's been figured out that you can make only 2 Yatai, otherwise it really delays your age up, and you're gonna be like... sucking your teeth because the opponent ages up sooner than you. Eventually, your Yatai will get countered by the early aggression. So you don't have... Oh, look at that tower.
So it looks like Wham realizes, like, hey, you went for a very greedy play by going for this triple Yatai. I can do something against this. And this is exactly what the playstyle now is. The problem is, I don't know if this is the type of aggression that's going to be the answer right now. Because as we can see, that tower did the work here, and he does lose one of those spears, but the follow-up now is going to be the king. And behind this, as you guys can see, he's going to go for his manors. We'll see what the answer is with these manors and how many manors he decides to go for. Now, getting the upgrade to the next level of mannerism doesn't seem worth it unless you get to the oldest or to the later stages of the game, of course, right?
Also, the manor cost got changed. It's now very much cheaper than before, because it was way much more expensive than it was 275 gold. So it got way much cheaper. But the reason behind that, also the limit, so that's many people doesn't talk about it, the limit got increased to 11 manor from 9.
Okay. But by 11 manors, you would need a lot more villagers to actually make it worth it, right?
Exactly. So you can't just unlock the another 4 and like, oh yeah, that's good, because you actually need the villager. Which, what does it mean? It means that actually 2 TC House of Lancaster is a good playstyle. And let me tell you, I know a good player who knows insanely good 2 TC House of Lancaster, and it's Lucifer.
I actually watched him play it as well, and I think it definitely slapped. I was spectating some games yesterday, and I was really surprised at how he figured it out. And it doesn't look like you can do much damage to it. But these guys don't shoot. You need to go for the other landmark, right?
Exactly. I can tell you that 1 month ago I got slapped by the 2 TC builder there from Lucifer. It was a month ago.
A month?
Yeah, on rank ladder.
Oh! Oh, I thought we were talking about this patch before the changes.
No,
Oh my
he
goodness.
already figured out before the changes.
Okay.
Even though I'm pretty sure he didn't know, right, that the changes will come, but he was smart enough to. All right, this build is gonna be strong, and it was actually strong.
But this
So
is
you can see, yeah.
That's pretty crazy. Getting that many resources. You can see Wham already skyrocketing himself to Castle Age with this. Even just having 2 manors. He has
Yeah,
already...
but at the same time, he just left the manor area with 5 villager, right? They are going to the deer pack to Louis.
Okay.
Here, they are going here.
With another
So
manor,
he has to
of
build a
course.
manor. Yeah, he has to build a manor. Otherwise, you are literally not using your civilization bonus, which is gathering under the manor.
The problem with the manor this far out is, of course, your opponent being able to shut this down if there are something more aggressive. But Louis seems to be doubling down on this greedy part of his civilization. But now with him going for the daimios already, and double at that, that feels
Wait.
pretty powerful. Yeah?
Does he have 2 state? Wow. Okay, Otama and Takada, which means the cavalry and the range.
And getting the double estate, getting that double daimo, is that worth it against the civilization that, is not really great at being dealt damage to? Because right now, the White Tower also coming up just means that the second gold is also going to be fine. And even though Louis is getting all this free food from his yatai, he's definitely not in the position I think he wanted to be with this economy.
I think it's a lack of scouting, because why would you go 2 of them, right? So the reason why he did that, I can easily tell you that, because he was thinking about countering the lords, right? He was terrified about the lord play.
Yes.
But at the same time, it's not really a lord play. It's just going White Tower into Castle Aggression while he's going Temple of Equality. Equality is good when he's playing, let's say, melee infantry comp rather than cavalry comp. It's not bad. But I would choose the other landmark, and let me tell you why.
Okay.
The other landmark can make you up to... Okay, just a second, because I already wrote this down.
Yeah.
Wait, just a second. Need to check the conversation with Misty.
Oh yeah, you and Beastie, you cook together. Oh my goodness.
I think it's... something 500, around 500 gold per minute, which is what? That's like 2 high trade houses.
And that is pretty powerful, and I'm guessing it's only under the influence of the Matsuri, right?
Yes,
Okay,
yes. So
okay.
you need to position the landmark, not like the Spanish brothers. So that landmark gets close to the Matsuri, and when you are influenced under it, I think it was like 532 or something like that gold per minute with 5 villagers. So that's a crazy amount of gold that you can get out of it, and I think it's insanely worth it. Not sure about this landmark. It's like fine, you get the Ikoiki is cheaper, but they are like, like not that tanky. Yes, they heal while they're attacking, but I don't know. I'm not really a fan of it.
I actually tried the Ikoiki mass composition, and it's really fun, but it's not that good. It's something that just dies very quickly.
It's fun. Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
Exactly. It's just fun, and that's it. But I would like, if there is a competitive game and I want to win and I'm on the tournament and thinking, okay, I need to win this tournament, I would not go with that landmark.
Yeah.
But of course, people still trying to figure it out if it's good or not. But in my personal opinion, it's like just do anything else. It's gonna be fine.
I think a lot of people using these matches, they're trying to figure these out, because I think a lot of players have 1 or 2 people they can practice with, but they don't have the usual availability of everyone to just jump in and be able to try out all these strategies with. So Louis getting this against a player like Wham is a pretty good spot to be in because you're going to get that information you wouldn't otherwise. But oh, look at those knights. That is disgusting. And Wham's doubling down on this. Wham is still believing in the knight play.
The move must be slow.
And what I've noticed is a lot of players are just not using the Gokka Township as intended to spam constant shinobis everywhere. Is this something that you think is going to take a while to develop, or we'll see it next week? Okay.
Yes, I'm pretty sure it's gonna take a while until they develop this skill because this is something new. This is something that we never had before, right? Because even if you had the Chinese spy landmark, there's a huge cooldown on it, right? So this one has only 90 seconds, and you need to remember every 90 seconds to use that landmark because it's very, very strong and very. Look at it, very, very nice. Increases the damage and slows down the unit. And now he just throws a grenade on it. Of course, you can, by the way, escape. Just move, just run away when he's throwing the grenades. But if you stay there, well, you are cooked.
I mean, you can see that Wham believes this outpost is so important. And it makes a lot of sense. The moment he loses this, he's going to be... the manor is going to be up for grabs next. You see the Lords of Lancaster is actually trying to trade out here, but the Knights pulling back, realizing this is not the best fight for them. Now, why is this matchup... why does it look so good for Louis here?
The reason behind it is because he took some really bad trades, right? With getting sniped because he used a shinobi and he stayed there with the knights, receiving the damage from the shinobi. And most of the time, Wham really didn't send back his knights to heal up on the AoE of Kings, the landmark.
Yeah, the AoE of Kings I feel like has been very underutilized in terms of as a healing landmark. It's very happily used as making kings, but the moment they need to bring the units back for healing, it does feel like people just kind of forget, but the shinobi's are ready, and it looks like they just want to slow down and destroy, and it looks like these 5 villages are kind of cooked.
I'm not sure if it's gonna stay like this, but the Iki healing while throwing torches is one of the most craziest idea I ever seen by anyone making.
I mean, it encourages you to go for the landmark. When your other landmark, it gives you 2 trade houses worth of gold. It definitely feels like you do need the Iki to be pretty amazing to incentivize people to do something else. And I mean...
well, I wish the warrior monk is like that.
Now, with this matter now being exposed and most likely going to be going down pretty soon, I would like to know, when do you think is the right moment for him now to get the next technology? When do we invest that resources into getting there? Is this one of those instances where you only invest into it after about 55 villages, or what is that breaking point for you?
So the thing is, people have to invest even though they don't reach the number, because you will run out of space, right? You need to have a manor here, you need to have a manor there, you have to have a manor here, right? So as soon as they realize, oh wait, I'm running out of space, I need to make more manors, otherwise I'm not really focusing on my sieve bonus to get better economy. So as soon as you leave your base, you are on the map, you immediately need to get more manors.
Yeah, and I can see with all these villages now moving around, this manor is still inspiring just the gold. We see a little wood line that could be helped here as well.
Yeah, look at those villages. There's like 15 or 20 villages not being claimed, which means he's losing insane amount of resources.
Okay, and just putting a little mana down here would mean that all these berry villages would be inspired in a way as well.
Yeah,
now,
exactly.
What I like about this is Wham is realizing I can't take heads, straight up fights, going for crossbows instead as he sees the mass samurai coming through. But with these knights, he needs to try and find some damage. The problem is they don't feel as spicy as the samurai, especially not when you have the shinobi that can just slow them down as they go right through.
The crossbow switch also really good because he will suffer a lot of damage from the shinobi grenade. That's gonna increase it, right? So the crossbow can at least target out the shinobis. So from him, that's a really, really good idea to pick it up.
And Wham trying to find a little bit more damage. He gets one of the villagers. Oh, and another one does not get spotted, but the wall gets completed. And it looks like the next Daimyo estate is coming on out.
And it's gonna be a Takada, which means there's gonna be another cavalry. Which is interesting because he just built the Oda. And he was like, alright, I don't need it anymore. But to increase the damage for the Mounted Samurai, ooh, look at the grenade, it's so good. One wrong move, you get slow, and you can do anything.
Yeah, I think with players still not utilizing it as much, we won't be getting as many Reddit threads, but I think at some point when people just stop spamming them from the stealth forests, things are going to get a little bit more heated. A few of the crossbows getting caught out already. Spearmen now being made by Wham to try and stop this mass samurai composition. And we've seen this from the likes of JD and French, where people just go full baboon, knights only. But Japan as well, with a mass-mounted samurai, I just don't know if these hit the same without those reflective shields.
Honestly with you, if they reach the 3rd level, right, with the state, then they're gonna be actually stronger than the Japanese Mounted Samurai. Not just because of their damage, but now they will receive reflected shield, right, when you get the level 3 estate. But you already get extra HP with each state you are building. So you're gonna have more HP than Japanese Mounted Samurai, and you're gonna have deflective shield, and you're gonna have bonus damage against infantry. So it stacks up together. And also don't forget, you have more attack speed thanks to the Daimyo.
And with this, he's also going to be able to deal with the mass knight composition, but Wham knows that, and that's why he's already switched away from this. The problem is Wham's composition is not really a composition that will bend to a bunch of mounted samurai just yet. Ooh, look at those beautiful boys, just the monks just slicing and dicing. But Louis looks like he's struggling to find the opening to do a little bit of damage now. We don't have... Oh, I was about to say, we don't have as many manners as we would like to see, but it does look like he has realized I do need to put these guys to work. The problem is their next move is pretty far out as well, and he recognizes this. Wham instantly going for a little bit of wood instead, and probably going to be going for a farm transition pretty soon as the food is running out on the map. He's already claimed quite a bit, and we can see now the berries here at the back being his last little bit of food as everything else on the map is slowly running out. Another manor coming down very far forward, but gets 3 resources.
And he's, as you mentioned, making more and more manors. He unlocked up to 11 manors now, so he's really invested into it. But I can tell you that if he unlocks the manors like this, he also has to start building farms around them very, very soon.
Yeah, that transition now coming out. Well predicted corners. Now
I can perfectly read players, so let me tell you that.
So now with the relics being split pretty well, I don't think this spells too much for either Sith. The thing is, usually I would say it wouldn't, but with him not going for the usual free gold, it might make a difference here in the late game. Now, the little bit of raiding happening now, as you mentioned, the mana cost is significantly different, but it does look like one of these poor little Yatais will pay the price. Louis hasn't done his food transition either, though. So the farm transition now is going to make it that Wham slows down a little bit. But we can see both of these players looking for some eco damage. And honestly, if I was raiding, I would definitely want to have a bunch of mounted samurai on my side. And not...
I mean, this army is not bad, but let me tell you that he should have focused out the Matsuri as well that was in the base, because he's filling up the Matsuri with Yatai cards, right? The food card. And losing out 30% just like a snap of a finger, that's a huge economical damage. Since that's your economy, you don't have upgrades. So if the viewer doesn't know, all the thing the civilization has, the Sengoku Daimyo, is a wheelbarrow. They don't have pro scout, they don't have survival tactic, nothing. All they have is the wheelbarrow that increases the movement speed and the berry getter rate. So if they lose out the Matsuris, you're losing all your economical gathering. Of course, they have lumber camp upgrade, they have mining upgrade, but the food upgrade, it just comes from the Matsuri.
And that's a pretty significant one to lose. He's saying the TC is a bit more important, but like he... Ooh, but those samurai are trying to find a way to connect, and they're just not getting there just yet, as the spearmen are turning around, trying to circle around here. The kings being our armored unit, doing their thing, but let's see the Iko Monk healing. Corvinus, it's time!
I wonder why is he not really microing his... Okay, he started. I think he was doing some macro and he forgot about the crossbows and also dealing with the base. But like those crossbows and the spearmen, I'm pretty sure should have dealt with this without a problem. But he was really focused at the base, and as you can see, well, at the end, he will not have a single problem against these Iko monks because they have low HP, no armor, and yeah, that's it. Iko Biki.
The thing is, Louis did somehow manage to kill 22 villagers, so those raids did work out as he was running around with those horses, finding a little bit of damage all around, and Wham is just not able to do that same level of damage just yet. The thing is, Wham is playing House of Lancaster, and these guys are starting to pump Corvinus. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's disgusting. Do they have a cap of how many villagers they can inspire?
No, they don't. The reason behind that, because if you have a cap on it, then you will not get back the same resource per minute like what they used to have. Because you actually need over 100 villager under manor influence to have back the same old economy.
Ooh, okay, okay. So it's good. It is enough. It's still pretty good. That's what you're saying.
It's good, yes, but as I said, you need to think of where the manor should be, so you are under influence non-stop. Because right now, as you mentioned as well, Louis has a crazy amount of gold, right? Because he had no transition to food. Like you can see, he has literally no food for a while. He's not even getting all the food he has. He gets is literally from Yatai and from one farm, right? So he put like 35 villager to gold, and now he realized at the south corner there is deer, and he put all the villager to the deer.
Now,
more to the bottom.
Oh yes, this
Look
one.
at
This
that.
one. Oh my goodness, what a spicy
villagers.
boy. That's pretty crazy to see. Like, but he feels confident enough to do so, as he knows exactly where the army is, and this army. Still not thinking about that Matsuri, although the Matsuri is not a cause for concern, as like you said, there's just no farm transition here. The samurai is absolutely cleaning up kind of here in the base. I would say another 5 villages is a pretty good hit to have. But you can see that Wham also wants to do some damage. He's got some idle vills, as those samurai caused quite a bit of idle time here, but these villagers are about to hit idle time as well, as their food is running out. But we can see that tiny farm transition he's building for himself, and villagers are not gathering too much better over there, so he does need it to take a little bit longer. And this feels pretty tough. Ooh.
That's very bad. With the food per minute, of course. Like, not having Matsuri there and Yatai carts inside, it's the food per minute is gonna be not that crazy. Of course, his food per minute just jumped up like for a second to 2,000 food per minute, but of course he jumped up. He just put 33 villager to a deer camp.
Now there are 2 more deer lying dead here. There's a boar also ripe for the taking, but the problem is there's constantly spearman raids over there. He realizes he might need to secure that, but seeing yet another forge, this might have been a misclick. Yes, probably. They probably wanted to put another forge over here.
Listen, he made a friend of for him, so he will not feel alone. That's nice.
Now,
good guy, Louis.
What I absolutely love to see here is that Wham does not recognize that this Matsuri is such a powerful thing to kill. But I think this is something he would do a week from now. A week from now, he'll be like, oh yeah,
exactly.
I gotta kill this thing.
Like, remember when nobody Dark Age rushed Malian to destroy the houses or the pit mine? And they were like, wait, hold up. I can Dark Age rush them. So I should Dark Age rush them. So it's like the same thing that people will realize the Matsuri, as soon as it's destroyed, it takes ages to fill it up again.
So that economy can be boosted, but it cannot be brought back like an arcane chapel.
Exactly.
Now, Wham's army is looking pretty significant here. The thing is, it's still crossbows, and it doesn't feel like he's in a position where he's like, oh, I can push and do something about this. But the sword hunt statue, interesting. I have not made this. When do you think it's worth it?
I mean, it's a good landmark, just like the castle landmark, because it makes your military insanely fast with the attack speed, right? And when you have a good amount of Ashigaru and Cannoneer, right? Then it's like chef kiss. With the mounted samurai, maybe, but with the Iko monk, yes.
Oh yes, because of course with the Iko monk you will also have that extra bit of attack speed and they will just constantly heal up, and maybe that's exactly what Louis had in mind, but the problem is now Louis' TC is under siege and this is not a normal Japanese TC that fires back and actually does something. But he's doubling down on the samurai though.
Yeah, and I think Wam didn't recognize that, right? Because he's thinking about the old Japanese, like, I could have burned out this TC like ages ago. But he realized, like, wait, that's a Sengoku Daimyo. Their TC cannot be upgraded, so I'm gonna burn it down right. Oh, that's mounted samurai in the crowd. Don't mind me, I'm just going through.
Looking for a counterattack from Louis there. Oh, Louis actually, if he picks off these reinforcements, this is probably a good way for him to stay alive. But it feels like Wham finally realizes, hey, I should just go and do the damage. And he's walking right through all of these units, trying to get to the economy. A lot of the economy being out here is going to be great, but Louis needs to find a way to produce units. And he's not finding that way just yet. Oof.
Those farms, like, the getter rate on it is very slow.
And all of these villagers are trying to run for their lives, find a different source of income, but now Wham is a little bit of everywhere, and there's nothing that Louis can do about this. Those samurais are just not the answer to dealing with it just yet. Although they are elite, they are pretty spicy. I think if Wham did not push out here, he would have been in a little bit of danger. But now also, him aging up, he's just going to keep those spearmen coming. And Louis has invested so much already into horses. It doesn't feel like he's going to find an answer to anything Wham decides to do. And now, killing the Matsuri, maybe, we'll see. But the farm's going down, which is already pretty big.
I'm trying to, like, figure it out in my head what he can do. Even though he is holding on, he has a little bit of military, he's running around Wham's base. But honestly, if Wham just focuses down the landmark, then it's over. Like, he can't just come back at all. So I think all I would done if I was Wham, find the landmark, destroy it, and I will win the game.
Now, the levies he could be using, and that was one of my big questions. When do the levies actually matter here? Because now you have the levies spawning, but it doesn't feel like the answer those levies can give you is going to be able to deal with this. We see Wham now.
Yeah? I mean, it's a good addition. Ooh, look at the grenade, look at the grenade. He clicked to the wrong area. If he just clicked to the crossbow, all those crossbows would have been dead. Well, next time, I guess. So, the levy is a really good addition to this play with the Sengoku Daimyo, because also he aged up with the statue. With the statue, you also get faster levies.
100 times fast, or 100
exactly.
times, 2 times faster. Oh my god, math! But Louis, it doesn't seem like he's steering away from his composition still. He's still believing in the way of the samurai.
I mean, the reason behind that because they have extra HP, they have the Odachi, you can levy them for free. So there's many things that adds up together, and he thinks that that's gonna win him the game. But sitting on 5,000 gold, I've never seen in my whole Age of Empires 4 career.
With that amount of gold, it does beg the question, what unit can he get out of this? What might actually be worth it in dealing with these, but these mounted samurai are really struggling. And the grenades going off, slowing down the crossbows, but he knows the price is going to be way too high to just collapse on this. The Yatai, being a scouting unit though, they are just running around living their best life. Oh, poor
I
guys.
wonder. Yeah, I wonder how Wam wishes to finish this game, because he doesn't look like the one he would just finish the game like right now. He's making the garrison command, which got a little bit just a little bit nerfed. It was literally slap on the wrist, just increase the wood by 50. Amazing, it's still strong, but anyway. I don't know, it's really frustrating. Why is he not killing the Lombard?
Yeah, it seems like Wham is asking himself how to end this. I don't think Wham realizes how much work or how far behind Louis is with regards to food and anything like that. But looks like the fight is going to tell us exactly what the plan is here. But the mobility just keeping Wham at bay again. But Wham is not investing in anything that can actually take down the keep.
I mean, just touch it down. Just touch it down.
Yeah.
Just touch it down. It's fine.
At this point, when you have this many spears, of course. But
because we're gonna protect them anyway, so.
It feels like he's letting Louis just restart his whole economy and keep going. But now the problem is there's a keep in front, and I feel like Wham is getting gold player baited. He's like, oh, there's a keep. I can't run into that. Or I need to go through the keep to be able to do something. And he's struggling for resources right now.
I mean, his food per minute is still good compared to Louis, but not having the relics stored inside and having Tideborn is a huge problem for him. Oh, we found the base! Wow! The only place I didn't look.
Now the thing is, Wham could potentially take down this base if he just rotated downwards. But, ooh, with the cannon emplacement, that makes it a little bit different. University upgrades also heavily in... Which one did he get here? Biology, right?
Yeah, he got the biology.
Disgusting. That's why the horses are so spicy. 370 HP.
371.
That feels like a cataphrag.
Yeah, he has the extra HP from the states. He has the biology, and I think... Did he get the Odachi?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. So he does more damage to light. I don't know if it's infantry or light infantry. I don't remember. Because it's such a new thing to, you know. Ooh, the grenades were amazing.
The grenades were good,
okay.
But the question is just, is this going to be enough? It doesn't look like Wham has... He might win this fight, but he doesn't have an answer to dealing with the keep still. And he's starting to rally around, do a little bit of damage, and we can see these units are probably going to be able to clean up quite a bit, but ooh, these samurai, like you said, they are just so tanky, they can go right through.
I mean, even though they are so tanky, the numbers speak. So let's say Louis clears up this army, let's say that. Then still, Louis lost more resources compared to Wham, and his food per minute just stabilized, but his gold is, again, goes back to nothing. Like, is this bad for Wham? I don't think so, because he still has the H4 landmark that makes the spearman non-stop. All I want to see, he makes some bombard and he does some actual push here.
It seems like Wham has tunnel visioned on the fact that he has spearmen and crossbows and is dealing with the horses, but he doesn't have an answer for buildings. So even if he just took a fight and protected his siege, it would make this a very powerful push and quickly allow you to take down this Matsuri. Yet he's investing in yet another set of yatai, and I guess it makes sense because these guys, even if they're not around food, they still give you a little bit of food per minute, and it doesn't cost population, right?
Exactly, it does not cost population, and this is the thing with the new civs. All four of them has a unit, by the way, that doesn't cost population, which is... That's interesting, right?
What about the Sengoku? Okay, Sengoku, they have the yatai, and what about... Oh yes, the worker elephants, I guess that is also another one.
And also the Amir warriors. Well, Golden Horde doesn't actually have unit that doesn't go population, but you can think about the Rus age up that gives literally +2 armor.
Oh, that's pretty true. I want you to notice the unit composition switch here, though. The Iko-Iki monks, they are the weapon of choice now, and all upgrades have been gotten. This is a pretty solid...
I wonder what's their damage. the Eco Monk damage.
Where
I'm
are
really
they?
curious. Can we check one? So it's 22 damage with 1.38 attack speed. That's actually not bad. Like, if Wam was English, then he would really suck his own teeth about English Marathon armor. But since this is House of Lancaster, I could even see just making only Eco monks with the Daimyo and just winning the game with that, since the extra attack speed. But I wonder how it's gonna look like very soon when they're gonna clash again in the middle, because Wam is reaching the max population.
Wam is reaching the max pop, but again, not with units that can actually take down the castle. And he keeps fighting into it, Corvinus. I know you don't need to take down the castle, but he keeps going through it. It feels like this is the bait, and he keeps taking the bait every single time. Now, right-clicking on it. The problem is there's shinobis, and these guys are going to slow down this whole army and quickly get collapsed on.
Well, the lords go split up. One lord is already dead, but still boosting the HP. And he's fighting under the keep, but I think he can still win this fight with the correct amount of micro. What I really hate, the Wam really doesn't invest into blacksmith upgrades, melee armor or melee damage, because even though it's not the most important thing that you really need to upgrade, it's still something that's important in a fight like this. Because if you get just +2 or +3, you already survive extra hit from the Iko or the mounted samurai.
Disgusting. Look at that thing just healing up. Oh my god. Stop it, guys. Chill.
300 HP? Wait, hold up. That's a lot of HP.
Yeah, that is a lot of HP. And my question is that because of elite army tactics?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, getting that on a monk? Okay, Wam realizes, hey, maybe I should change the composition a little bit, invest in it to a bit of siege. The problem is the wood is running thin, and Louis already has control of the whole map. This castle
think about it. He has no problem with the wood since he can just generate.
That's true. If he gets allowed to. But yeah, you've got a good point there. The thing is, it's only 600 per minute. Is he going to be dependent on the passive ones? Mostly, yeah. That's a lot of wood per minute for someone who only has 3 on wood. Yes, never mind. He's okay. But
he's okay.
With the Culverin now, we have to keep in mind that he's up against the civilization again with mobility. And losing these guys is probably going to be the major difference between actually out-sustaining and being able to push through here. We see the tower now coming up. Ikis, they are looking to snack. And the Culverin might pop out the moment they step out forward.
Ooh, that was a misclick, definitely. You can see that he didn't want it to send the Eco right that way.
It looks like
Wait, what?
It looks like he cancelled the Culverin.
That's weird.
Yeah, it looks like he cancelled the Culverin. I don't know if it was in favor for any upgrades, but... Is there another upgrade that's supposed to be here?
No.
Maybe just cancelled it to get some resources back. But the thing is...
I love that he sends the Eco to heal them up, right? Like, hey, ooh, that was a lot of villager kill. Alright.
All of a sudden, the grenades are actually doing grenade level damage and not just tickle level damage. Oh my god, these guys are doing so much work. Actually taking down some of these units.
Well, that's why you don't deal with the shinobis.
And now the shinobis are just going to be able to be spawned at the front of the fight and at the back if he's so pleased. But these Eco monks don't seem like they need any help now. The max army composition is Eco monks, and Louis believes the fight is happening. Oh my god, Corvinus, is the healing going to be enough? It does look okay though.
Oh, I just realized Wam didn't got the incendiary arrows. Oh, he was fighting without incendiary arrows for the whole time. Ay. That's a lot of DPS minus there.
Now these crossbows are really trying their best, but they are struggling. And we can see now with this constant pressure, the samurai is realizing, hey, we've got the mobility, let us be the raiders. Villagers doing this far forward, but the Culverin fighting against the Eco-Ikis, not where you want to be hitting at this stage of the game, as they're just going to heal themselves back up.
I've wondered, because now he's transitioning into hand cannons, which he has to do. Like, if you want to beat that economic monk army, you need the hand cannoneers. Since also they can do extra damage to them thanks to the Serpenti powder.
Now the Culverin finally is going to be taking a close look at that castle, but the problem is there's so much economy damage done here already. 50 villages. Disgusting. But the numbers just keep increasing as we see the spearmen trying to do something about this, but they're not going to be the answer to these Ikoikis. Like you said, they need the hand cannoneers, but the spearmen are doing a little bit of work against the samurai. The problem is just they've got 4 legs, they run just a little bit faster.
I'm really curious. So this is another mechanic that players will not really realize or utilize early on. If Louis set his Matsuris to a different location to be a main Matsuri, right? Because that one right now is not the main Matsuri. But I wonder if the other Matsuris are being activated. Oh, there is no Matsuri at all.
Yeah, this Matsuri was cooked. No, he's winning this
No
without
Matsuri
Matsuri. Yeah, there's no Matsuri. Oh, there's a little Matsuri over here, but no, not boosted at all.
Yeah.
So, Louis actually having a pretty solid economy even without that boost. Oh my god.
If he had the boost.
This doesn't feel like the game would be as straightforward as it looks right now. The Culverin, though, is now too far forward as he's tunneling backwards. Culverin tried to get himself back here, but it doesn't look like the village is going to repair this fast enough, and the economy is falling behind all of this. 72 villages down, and now the manors are the next target. Disgusting.
And again, he needs villagers for those manners to be worth, and maybe this will be a win for LoueMT. I felt like Wam had so many times, like the amount of chance he had to win this game, and he didn't utilize or get the upgrades in time. The example is that he's still missing fire arrows.
The composition still doesn't look perfect here from Louis anyway, but at the same time, it wasn't necessary. I actually love this from Louis because Louis did something that he does so well. He turtles when he is a little bit behind. I kind of like that. He realized how to get control of the map, but Wam just not sure how to kill the civilization. And what was interesting to me is that Louis was able to do this, like you said, without the Matsuris actually boosting that economy.
But I think the reason behind that is because the bad trades. Right, so Wam was taking bad trades and he was not punishing or pushing in time to actually utilize the age up as well. As I mentioned before, he didn't even got the university upgrades. So there were many mistakes that could have been better by Wam's side, right? But also Louis did a crazy amount of mistakes of like not utilizing his C bonus, aka with the Matsuris.
Now, we have flank woods coming up now, and for these last 2 games, like we saw now, House of Lancaster. Ooh, but House of Lancaster is basically new, right? It's not the House of Lancaster we're used to. But French, we know, we hate, we love, right? But how do you, just from Golden Horde, what you've seen out of Golden Horde, how do you feel like Golden Horde is going to match up to something like French? Because Mongols versus French, it's very French favored as far as I know.
I can tell you that if I won with Golden Horde against English on Cliffside, then I'm pretty sure he can win against French on Flankwood, something like that. Flankwood, yeah.
Okay.
The reason why I don't remember the name of this map, because it's so insanely bugged. You can already see one of the boar didn't spawn correctly.
Let's see. Yeah, this one here. It's all the way down here. Okay. Now, with French, you're looking at a civilization that has a pretty good economy in the early game as well, because of course they get the early wheelbarrow, but with Golden Horde, you also have a pretty good transition when it comes to the food. I think a lot of people, we haven't seen a lot of the stockyards, but I know that the stockyards have been a little bit of a topic for some players, as it is pretty cool to have your food sources this safe, this close to the TC as well. But yeah, in a straight up engagement here, where do you think French loses this?
I think he will lose in economy because they're really good build. One of the builds I really like to do is that I age up with the cards with the Golden Horde. That you will receive 2 cards that you can make into production building. And when you age up, you just get their wood. The age up clicked. The first upgrade you're gonna get is actually from the girl.
Yeah.
Is the sheep gathering upgrade. And when you age up, you can drop down 2 stockyard. Now you have 8 villager on the 2 stockyard, non-stop gathering food for you. They don't even need to move that much or anything. And you just forget about that 8 villager. You just leave on it, and you're gonna see your food economy is gonna be so good, non-stop pumping the food per minute for you. That like, oh my god, it's so good. Yes, so the rotation grazing is gonna be the first upgrade when you age up, and after that you can make a Batukan as well.
And you would actually go for this pretty early on?
Yes, because I'm gonna have the 2 stockyard immediately as soon as I age up.
Oh, interesting. So you don't need that alternative investment, because I know that most people have been going for the Khan and the Torguds. I think most of us have only seen this one in action. So reduce the stone cost of the Khan and Torguds by -20, while increase the health by +30. And that feels good against most civilizations when you're being the aggressor. But when you're playing against French, you're not really looking to take a fight between your horses and his horses. So I can definitely see how the economy would be more important here. Oh.
And also think about it. Both of them are kind of economical age up because you save resources on Torgud and the Batukan. But at the same time, the other one is an economical and military age up at the same time. Both of them, because you save 300 wood, right, with the cards. And after that, when you age up, you can get a car, which you can make into a monastery, so you can immediately collect the relics.
Oh, that's disgusting. Okay, so that's actually going to be a little bit of a different build. I like that. But we are getting a standard situation here with the Khan and the Torguds. I feel like this tells us that he needs this bonus buff because he's going to fight against horse. So usually you don't want to go put a Keshik against the knight, but if you have enough Keshiks, you do heal quite a bit as you're trying to take that fight, or you just don't allow your French opponent to take on a straightforward fight, and you use those Keshiks to keep his knights completely busy. God, I love these sheep corviners. They're so diverse.
Did you see the pink sheep?
No, I saw it on Reddit, but not in game just yet.
I already got it.
Oh, you've been playing a lot of games, haven't you? Against
Crucible.
Crucible. I get it. I honestly, when I tried the Crucible, I thought to myself, oh, I hate single player games. This is not going to be fun at all. And then I got addicted and I haven't stopped playing the Crucible. It is absolutely disgusting how addictive it is, and I'm so excited to play more.
Honestly, the reason behind that, because it's a roguelike game, right? So if you like, let's say, TFT, then you're gonna love this game mode as well.
Now, opening with a knight, and what I want to point out is that we might not see pro scouts for the first time in our lives, as now specialized pick is coming out in horticulture, following suit as well. So Louis definitely hoping to get every economic upgrade in here, but especially against Wham going for the boar here, this feels like he's going to need to do damage. But with the fortified outpost, it makes it a little bit easier to do so.
It also feels very, very strong, because taking down the tower is going to take a long time.
And you do not want to get a half HP knight this early in the game. So even if he goes in, charges, he's not going to get a charge off if... That's the problem. Yep. He's just too fast. You're playing against Wham. You're not going to play against someone who is going to let you get some damage out. But a little bit of idle time here, which is, I mean, that's kind of the only value you're about to get under this tower.
Okay.
Are we going to get a charger? No, not yet.
No, he's focusing Batukan.
The Batukan, though, the stats are... Governors, the stats are pretty decent for this man. He's handling it pretty well, but the Batukan doesn't heal like a normal Khan. So, when your Batukan is damaged, what is the only way to heal him?
Well, you need to get to H3 and get some shaman out.
Okay. So this man's gonna be hurt for a little while. Now the Uwu...
Exactly.
The Uwu is being replaced here to the... Oh, yes! Uwu! You can make multiple Uwus!
Yeah.
Completely
Up to 4.
forgot. Disgusting. And now?
And their tide barn is insane. You actually can get tide barn on Uwus. So your tide barn is equal to Uwu. If you have more Uwu, the better it is, because you don't generate resources from collecting relics. Your tide barn is a Uwu barn.
Oh god. So, but you can also redo your Uwu and expired stone camp, or
Yes,
not?
just like pick mine. Yes.
Very nice. So now the stone income is just gonna keep rolling in, and we're gonna see Spearman now as the follow-up. Louis, though, Louis is known as a man who loves to go pure knights, but he respects the new civilization. Is like, hey, I'm probably gonna need to get some of these bad boys, but he's looking for some damage. The problem is just, is he gonna find any? First villager going down and actually going to Wham, surprisingly.
He can, I mean, the Batukan has a really good ranged armor as well, so he can do some raiding. Of course, they don't have really good melee damage, but their charge damage at least is huge, so he's capable of sniping villagers.
Now I see my mortal nemesis is asking in chat if the Torguds heal the Khan, and they do not, I believe.
No, it's just a visual glitch. The reason behind that, because there were an idea that they forgot to take out, but back in the day, the Batukan used to heal.
Back when it was just a little Khan, right?
Yeah, back when it was just a little Khan, it used to heal, but I'm very happy that they removed that idea of self-healing, because we don't need a JD that already unkillable if you have bodyguard.
Yeah, and that's definitely his situation here, because with the Torguds, they will just absorb the damage instead of the Khan, as far as I know. So damage is right directed to nearby Torguds. And if there's enough of them, they're going to be Tor very good. And yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that. It's because it's late. The brain has gone to sleep. And now we will just make bad puns.
So it feels like I'm playing World of Warcraft where I'm focusing the boss out, but I can't kill the boss until I kill the...
Wait, Corvinus.
What?
That thing's healing. What's happening here?
Wait, what?
The Khan is healing. That's what I was gonna say.
Wait, why is it healing?
The Khan is healing.
Why is it healing?
It's not supposed to heal?
Wait, what?
This is not supposed to be?
Can we check the detail on the Khan? Yeah, it doesn't say it should heal, so it's not really intended, looks like.
This might be a bug. I'm not too sure. But as far as I know, when I was speaking to them, it felt like they were saying the Khan doesn't heal. So
Yeah,
normal
that's
Khan
what I'm
heals.
saying, like...
Yeah, this is the thing is, this is not a normal Khan. This is a running Khan. A little bit different. Yeah, these guys are not supposed to be healing up. But now relic Uwus. A shaman can consume a held relic to build an Uwu which can exceed the build limit. Ooh. Increase Uwu stone gather rate by 20%. But this is also still limited to how many stone mines there are, right? So it's not like this is gonna go out of control unless you have full map control.
I mean, if you have 4 relic, that's 4 extra Uwu.
Oh.
So
Wait.
now you have... Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Each relic is an Uwu.
Oh, so it doesn't mean you
yeah.
actually need to build it. It is consuming the relic itself and just building
Exactly.
on... Oh god, that's disgusting.
Yes.
And
It is disgusting.
what happens if they destroy that Uwu?
Just a relic will be like, whoop, I'm here.
I'm back!
It just jumps out of the Uwu and that's it.
Oh, good god. So we have unlimited Uwus, which means a lot of stone, which means a lot of upgrades, which means disgusting amounts of stone.
And
Wow.
also, like, remember what I said? Their tide barn is connected to Uvu's. So now don't forget that, because which means the more Uvu you have, the more resource you will generate. So you can already have 4 tide barn because you have 4 Uvu, 1 per age, right? And imagine getting 4 more. That's 8 Uvu, and which means 8 tide barn generation of resource per minute. Which is not possible with any other ships. It's only with Golden Horn.
So Golden Horde is gonna be the new HRE of Imperial, if you let them get there.
Yes, exactly.
So what do the Mongols do with all the stone? Well, in this case, the Golden Horde will just make towers, and fun little fact, guys, they can't make keeps, but with the towers, it's kind of nice. They do have the ability to make walls, though, so just keep making towers, keep pushing forward, and you guys have all played against Mongols in late game with all those emplacements. Disgusting.
And also, Torgu doesn't need to be upgraded. They upgrade automatically, just like Batukan.
So instantly becoming veteran Torguds. And look at that surround. Louis just losing his scout there, luckily for him. But these veteran Torguds are doing pretty well against the Knights. We can see the archers trying to focus down and the Khan screaming into the sky. And
That's really shamanist thing that you said, screaming in the sky.
Screaming at the sky!
The sky is falling!
I can't, Gobinis. I can't. Can
Well,
you
at
do a
least he
better
can't
one?
do that.
Oh, can't you do better? That
I can't, but I said they can't do that.
Now, that's the thing. Oh, yeah, the scout has the... Ooh. But this is a pretty heavy trade, because now you already sacrificed quite a few knights, and he gets those out alive, and this is the micro of Louis. If he does not overstay, he could be okay, but already we can see that the 4 villager kills has equalized that French ability to get ahead. Now the food transition is starting, the first stockyard coming up, and we can see him building it with 4 villagers, and I want to show everyone what this looks like. Okay, Louis, chill. Look at that. Disgusting. Already out there on the corpses.
Yeah, and they're just dropping into the middle, like, whoop, you know, like a pro basketball player, like, whoop.
Dunking, boys. We're gonna be snacking tonight.
Let them show them that how they're dunking. Okay, throw. Come on.
Throw? They're just dunking.
So they don't need to move. They're just literally throwing inside of them.
So they never have any idle time, just purely based on that.
Exactly, they have no idle time. And that's why, so you get it now why I'm saying that it's insanely strong if you open in the feudal age with 2 of this. Because after that, these villagers will never idle unless you click them to be idle.
And I can definitely see that being worth it when you're investing 250 resources into having unlimited food. That's something. So how much food does a stockyard generate compared to fields? I think we'll have to put that to the test. Unless Corvinus has some stats in his head.
Yeah, you know I have everything.
Oh my god, of course.
So basically, Golden Horde generates less resource on the stockyard. It's only 0.7. With their first upgrade is 0.77, but the reason why is it 0.7 because they don't need to move. They are literally just dropping inside, while other villagers or other civilization villagers have to move from farm to the mill. But the reason why they lowered the food per minute on the stockyard to 0.7 compared to the 0.75, because as I said, they don't need to move anywhere. So with the first upgrade it goes up to 0.77, and with the second upgrade it goes up to 0.84.
And also there are no like genetic modifications on these sheep, so they're not actually as big as the other sheep. So with that said, this is BU sheep. So if you're all about that free range sheep, that's what these ones are all about as well. So maybe these are the ones for you. Okay, the Torguds though, they are trading out here. He may have just forgotten about these poor guys, but it doesn't matter because he's just going to make more with stone. And now, crossbow army composition coming on out. But against all of these knights, that is a pretty good answer. The archer investment though, he's going to need a few more horses to handle this. So, can you explain the Roost tribute to me?
So redistribute is that you are getting from the landmark every time when it hits the stone to 0. If you are a little bit like you feel like okay, I can't wait, then you can just click on the icon inside the golden tent and you can hire Rus units immediately, which you can see he did because it always should start from 350.
Now, the villager's backing off here is already telling us Louis is being the aggressor for once. The thing is, they didn't go inside us. They wanted to pull the units a bit more backwards here. But this is going to say to us that Louis, he's feeling this pressure because now this is limited edition villager raids. Because soon enough, they're all going to be on stockyards. They're not going to be worried about any of this. Next raid coming in as well. We see the Torguds doing a little bit of work. Batukan might be paying the price. But the knights are probably just going to go and try to look for a bit of a meetup here. Batukan gets out alive for now. So yes, the Bioshi feeding.
Vem is not building walls because, you know, it's in your head that I'm playing Mongol, but you're not playing Mongol, you're playing Golden Horde and you have walls.
And
where are the Vem walls?
Yeah, that's true. It is kind of his whole MO as well, right? He is the Wham Waller. He's the original builder of the walls. When I called them Wham walls the first time, I thought I was hilarious. I was like, oh wow, this is a great meme. And then everybody started calling out the Wham walls, and I was like, oh damn it. Now it's not that funny anymore. But maybe with Mongols, he'll discover that those things can control the map significantly. Now, with the movement speed here, they've got equal movement speed to a knight. But I was like looking, is this guy healing up? But let's see now. He hasn't healed up in a bit.
Oh, nah, yes.
He is. That is
so
pretty wild.
It only heals if there is Torgud nearby. Because it did not heal when Torgud was not there.
And can heal the Khan while out of the command. Oh my god, we both missed it. Ah. This is shameful, Corvinus. Okay, I need to deep shine. I was wrong. Just wanted to highlight that. Oh, we suck, Corvinus. How did we miss that? We've had access to this DLC. Yeah. Are you gonna play this, Civ?
Yo, Golden Horde and Macedon.
Oh, you're not gonna go for the Elephant Boys?
Nah.
Too overrated.
I'm so excited with Macedon. When Macedon is so good. Wow, he's losing archers to crossbows. Macedon Dynasty is insane. I love it. I love every second, every minute, every hour, every day, every week, every month out of Macedon Dynasty because it's such a fun civ to play with.
Okay. Yeah, we saw a little bit of a spicy play in the first game where Louis was building the barracks inside the base and then just upgraded it, and all of a sudden it's a tower, and now you've denied a resource and it can still produce units. So it does feel like it could be some pretty spicy plays if you're just starting out in ranked as well. It does look like Louis will pick up a few bills here as he's running around, but at the same time there's a big army in the base here too, so it just feels like they're going to trade pound for pound. And the villagers will need to pull off. But now we have 3 very safe food sources, and that's already having 12 sheep at the ready. That feels pretty decent, I say, as all the villagers are dying.
It's so weird to see that someone doesn't put those stockyards around tower, right? Because you always want to build or wish to build like you have enough space for your towers. And just seeing it like just putting stockyards all over the place, it's like, wait, those are not farms. Don't play it like it's farm.
Now the Rus tributes are out, and I finally get to take a look at these guys' stats though, and they have extra against cavalry as well, because I mean they're basically like a spear in that case, but they do use a sword. So the bonus against cavalry, we'll figure out what that means in due time, but I do see a lot of raids coming off, and it does look like Louis was able to clean up most of it though.
It's fine, but if you go H4 with another Rus age up, because you can improve them twice. You can improve them in H3 and H4. With the stone armies, your Rus unit become crazy. It's like Wingard Footman.
Oh no.
And the other one is like, yeah.
It's okay. You get gold.
Generation. Yeah. But that one, like, holy smokes. We have a red plus.
It might feel like the gold one is the answer if you've already used your relics to convert into Uwus. Because you don't have that passive gold generation at that point. But 45 on gold though, is this this feels like something you do when you ran out of resources to harvest. But apparently the Red Palace is protecting this gold and this is where he's staying. But Wham is not taking the bait this time. He's not running into the keep and trying to fight into it. He's actually going for the economy yet again.
He will not find it because walls are there and the economy is left side on the map. Can you check the Shaman tent for a second and check the upgrade?
Shaman tent? The prayer tent? Okay.
Yeah, the prayer tent, sorry, yes. So it does generate gold, Uwu.
Ooh. Ooh. Oh, disgusting.
It's for every Uwu, even the Radic Uwu.
But what happens if you just have normal relics? Then this doesn't...
It doesn't work.
Then Tithe Bonds doesn't hit the same. Okay.
Exactly.
Interesting. So you do end up having to make that pretty tough choice.
Either more gold or more food and wood. And a little bit of gold. And stone, of course.
Increase fortified outposts and palisade fire. Okay, so this one and then adds the glorious charge.
The glorious charge.
So I haven't seen this ability actually happening. And you guys, come on. I'm not gonna... Yeah, we have too many of them. Oh no, this patch. Corvinus, I have a problem. Sengoku Dynasty. It is making me go, oh, I see ya. The whole time. I can't stop. Whenever I hear them talk, I have to follow. And now we have a civilization with multiple Uwus. This is too much. This is too much.
I'm doing the same thing. Of course, I'm doing that off stream. But every time when I see a Uwu, I always go into... But I'm not doing the stream just in case so people can hear that.
I'm glad you guys were all here to experience that. In Uwu we trust. That was better than Whamenqt, right? I feel that way too. Oh no. Okay, Corvinus. He's going to attack the 3, 2, 1. Ooh. Oh, damn. Our counting down is not doing well. But Wham has learned from previous mistakes. He's making siege. And I like that for him. He's not going to be fighting into the Red Palace. He's like, I did this last game. It didn't work. There was a keep. It shot rockets. I died. And now the Knight's pretty spicy here from Louis. And he loves a good late game Knight composition. Damn. Oh, that's disgusting. But Wham is ready. And he's got the boys at the ready going for it. While our singular ram is attacking the house. And I love that for him. This ram is going to be telling stories. And it's not going to be killed anytime soon. I say as I'm cursing the ram.
I don't know why Wham is allergic to trebuchets. just get some trebuchet, it's fine. They're good.
No, Corvinus. He's about to fight into the Red Palace. This man has standards. He needs to lose a few more units before he discovers trebuchets. Don't you? Yeah?
What if he will make trebuchet with the age up? Because if he age up with stone army and you can make trebuchet for stone.
Yes. Okay, let's go see that man in action. So, you can make a trebuchet for stone. Where? Out of what building?
Inside the golden tent.
Okay, let's see that happen.
Why did he queue up? No, he queued up Torkud. No, don't go. Yeah, okay, but okay. Okay, so over there. 250, so cheap.
That is pretty cheap.
Oh. Yeah.
He's like, okay, guys, I'm just getting you excited. Let me pull back a little bit. Just give you another one of them. Thank you. Wham really teasing us here. Damn.
And now if you find a Rus unit, you will see how badass they look. They look like Terminator.
Oh my god, is that it?
Look at that. Look at the stats as well. Such a big weapon.
It is a big weapon. See, I feel like this would not be that effective in battle, but maybe they're just very strong.
That's the same weapon as the Strats uses. It's a Bardish.
Oh, okay. Oh my god, it just feels like these hit. It's just the aura. The aura of the Rus tribute existing. Oh.
Can you check the bonus damage against cavalry? 8. Oh, and 1.1 attack speed.
Ooh, this thing's gonna slice. Gonna slice them up real good.
And imagine if he gets the blacksmith upgrades, that he doesn't have a single one.
Of course
0
not.
plus damage.
Okay. Now, guys, I would like you to take a moment and observe Wham's only time in his life when he's going to be using his trebuchets. Now, we can see a fortified outpost not having the greatest of days, knights finally raiding, and we've all been at this point in the game where you just get completely overwhelmed because there are knights everywhere. But Louis, he sits back. He's just going to let that red palace do the talking. It's like sacrifices must be made. Disgusting.
He just jumps in like, yo guys, what's up? Oh, never mind. He starts protecting the trap.
It's because they're cheap Corvinus. These guys are basically free. They're free real estate. It's like when you travel to Serbia and you see that coffees are like 1.2 euros. You're like, oh, coffees are free here. Yes, that's those trebuchets. And that's probably the only reason that Wham got them. But we do have incendiary arrows about to hit, and these elite archers are going to snipe that trebuchet quick. Bah! It goes, but 2 more free trebuchets have arrived. 250 stone. That's free, ladies and gentlemen.
Like those would be so good if you just get like 6 of them and just trapping down the rest. But oh my god, that was such a good trap. Did a lot of damage. Didn't kill the many units, but not the free trebuchet. Not the free. Well, at least they are not you, pal.
They're basically free. They are just a distraction. They are the reason that all these archers felt safe to move out of the base, and now Louis' army is paying the price. We can see all these university upgrades, but it doesn't even matter. These guys are a little bit overextended. Luckily, the Red Palace is waiting. And let's see if the villagers are going to pop inside to make this a little bit harder. This Red Palace is not reinforced, though. I would have loved to see a little cannon emplacement, especially when you're playing against Wham, who loves to overextend. Just a little bit into the range.
Okay, now he made 4 trebuchet. It's insane. I cannot believe it.
The only time you'll ever see this.
Exactly. Also, when I forgot to tell you, so the way you use the Rus tribute is that you need a lot of production building. Why do you need that? So the more production building you have, the faster you will receive them.
Ooh.
Yeah, you can read it right there. The cost of the color Rus tributes will be reduced by 10 stone every 30 seconds. Each military building will reduce the cost by an additional 5 stone up to a maximum of 70 stone. We'll automatically deploy the Rus tributes when the cost reaches 0. So the more production building you have, the faster you will receive.
So you just build a bunch of production buildings and these guys pop out like candies.
Yeah, like pop, 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 pop. Yeah.
Okay, guys, I think we have our new late game HRE. Except it's got stone. Very nice. The thing is now, Louis is in a spot where he doesn't have a way to really shut this down. He's done a significant amount of damage to Wham. But because you just mentioned freeunits.com, this is going to be quite hard for him to actually shut down, because we can see he spent everything he has to try get to 200 supply, and Wham, he's pretty comfortably on 200 supply. Now getting biology up as well, getting a fortified outpost this far forward, that's a lot of trebuchets, Corvinus.
Did he take it down? Is it down? Is
What?
it over?
No.
No.
Oh, the archers walking a little bit too far in, but the crossbows are not going to get target
Too
fire.
close to the sun.
does look like the Red Palace is going to start poking at them, but the problem is those trebuchets are firing their hearts out. There's not enough villagers to put inside and make these arrows a little bit spicier. And again, just a little bit of an emplacement could turn the fight here, I think, especially with the amount of units and the type of units that Wham is offering him. Finally.
And... Come on, dude, just stick it down. Come on. Yay! It's down. By the way, I have never seen Wham using the Khan ability. Did he even research it? It's inside the golden tent.
Let's go see.
Okay, he didn't.
Okay.
It's on T.
Okay. The Khan can fire arrow that reveals a 12 range and makes enemy receive 10% damage. Oh my god! Why would you not want to do that? Disgusting.
It's so good. 10% extra damage. Now imagine on the crossbow receiving 10% extra damage. Like, wow.
Now these crossbows are firing straight at the... Oh, crossbows. I mean, trebuchets. He's going all in. The crossbows, they are just going to be poking down everything. Trebuchets still are alive, but trebuchets will keep firing at the guild hall, and the villagers have paid the price.
Yeah, but the gun is back.
He's back.
Oh, never mind. It's gone.
And...
It's...
no. What? It's oot?
It's out.
Corvinus, how much have you practiced your uwu?
I've watched way too many anime.
Okay. Whose uwu is better, yours or your girlfriend's?
I never heard him doing uwu.
Oh, okay, never mind then. Well, to be honest, I would say that yours might just be the best though. So, we'll give you the credit for that one.
Let's settle with that. Let's settle with that.
Now, this is just a position you get in now against the Golden Horde, apparently, where there's no killing them. What is the answer to this, Corvinus?
Well, mangonels.
That
Mangonels.
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
If you had the research. The thing is, Louis got every single upgrade in the world, but he didn't get a single mangonel. Both of these players not really investing into siege, I say, as there's 9 trebuchets in front of Louis' base.
Yeah, this is interesting. I'm not sure why, because they're feeling uncomfortable on content creator view, or why? Because you would make a lot of siege if you want to deal with that many range units. Like, I would see most of the players just investing into 10 mangonels and have fun with them.
Disgusting. The funny...
But that's landmark.
He's trying his best out. Remember, he wanted to be a little spicy, get that Red Palace up, but all the villagers have already paid the price. The archers are firing at everything, trying to take down every single unit they can. But everyone is dead, Corvinus. And when I say everyone, I mean Louise, everyone. Wham! He's in the driver's seat. The Golden Horde prevails. And now the question is Wham just the Trebuchet King? Or did Louis just not do enough damage? Apparently, killing 1 million villagers was just not enough.
Can you check one crossbow? Just... Oh, never mind.
It's okay.
I was curious how much damage they have. Because, you know, the longer the Khan fights, the more damage your unit will have. So, for a few seconds, they will get 10%. Few seconds fighting. Then another few seconds fighting, 20. And another few seconds fighting, 30 extra damage from the Khan.
Disgusting. So, he just needs to keep those going in. Wait. I'm trying to find... See, this is the tough part. When you have people on your friend list, but you have too many, and then you need to scroll to find them. But I'm sure that's a struggle we all have, especially on these types of servers. Okay, but guys, the final matchup. And we wanted to put this last matchup in because we wanted to test out what the players would go for, or which civilization they wouldn't pick. And the last matchup is going to be any civilization versus any civilization. So what that means is these players got to basically free pick and say, hey, I'm still going to choose this civilization over that one. And we thought that this would mean like, hey, they are going to go for the new civs. So from Wham, we didn't see the Macedonian Empire. From Louis,
Aw.
I think we didn't see the Delephants. So he still chose for this last matchup, guys. He still chose to go for China versus Japan. That's pretty crazy.
China.
Louis playing China. China with the Chinese civilization. We have Wham on Japan, though. And Wham, he's not Japanese. So Louis does have home civilization advantage. How do we feel about that in the current
I
meta?
feel like this is gonna be a China win.
A China win? Why?
Yeah. Because China.
China. Yeah, see, China is a civilization that has consistently been banned. And I think a lot of people have been asking, is it still that good? But Wham choosing to go with Japan, he says no. No.
Like that? Like, no.
No. He's like, I have the answer to whatever you have in store. Going for the Spearman early game. Unfortunately for him, Louis did spawn with the backwards gold.
Yeah, but at the same time, you want to do that against China, where their Dark Age aggression is 2 times better than any other civilization, since they can get gold out of the barracks. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
That
We will see.
is a very interesting point. The thing is, now we're playing in a meta where currently we don't go for the Imperial official early game, so you actually do need to go mine gold to get the gold you need. The thing is, like I said, the gold's backwards, so the gold is going to be gathered every bit he needs to do so. But Wham is not over-investing, I will say, as he's only making 2 spearmen. Now, this is most likely because he scouted, he sees this is not going to be something he's going to hit too early, but yeah. China has a Dark Age build, can't find it anywhere. Come on, chill. Sometimes. But that would be pretty cool.
He has to get to only 135 gold total.
Mm-hmm.
So if they get to the 135, that's it. Like after that, he can go off from gold and get the wood and food. Because he will get an Imperial official, drops the taxes once, and makes an Imperial official, drop the taxes again, makes an Imperial official. So that's how you can prioritize, or how can you play your civilization economy on the max level.
Now, he may have not realized that, I thought he was going to pull these villagers forward, but he's not going for more. And now the second spearman arriving is just going to mean he's not going to have the gold for the Imperial official. The villagers have now taken damage, and he's not going to have any gold for the Imperial official, Corvinus. He's not going to beat China like we know it.
That's confusing. That's very confusing. Like, why didn't he just get another 35, like, together?
Quickly,
so he
just
has a total. Yeah.
Just grab him.
Just before the second speedrun has arrived.
But even then, the thing is, he might be thinking, okay, I'm just going to make archers. It's fine. Or I'm going to make... No, spears of my own is definitely not the answer. But going for a few archers is okay. It just doesn't feel like the choice he needs, because he's playing a civilization that doesn't require a big response. And he's just playing it like it does.
No, it doesn't. I'm trying to understand. Might be really a little bit tired. Might be.
Yeah, it was...
Why is he making a lumber camp and not an archery range, right? Like, he already started gathering straggler trees. So instead of that lumber camp, he could have made an archery range.
Now, him repairing this mining camp is going to save him losing that 12 gold that he has stacked in there. Wow. He's almost ready for his archery range, but yeah, he doesn't have his Imperial official, which would have helped him so much. Archery range now being built with 4 or 5 villagers. And that's a pretty desperate archery range. And I feel like this has already paid off significantly. It slowed down the Chinese economy. But Corvinus, the one thing that made China so good as well is their ability to pro scout. And with the current changes to pro scouts, is it still that good?
Honestly, yes, it's still China good. Even though if they don't have Pro Scout anymore, they just have to play it a little bit differently than what they used to. So
Okay.
it's still good, still strong because the supervision. But of course, they're not playing with the Pro Scout unless he still tries Pro Scout. But let's see. Let's see what was the idea behind it. Because since the China got nerfed early game and little bit buffed in late game,
Can
we'll
you?
see how he gonna play out.
How did they nerf and buff China in this patch?
So the tax is less from making units and researching upgrades. You get less taxes. Also, village is a little bit cheaper. Now it's only 100 wood. And the ancient technique from the Imperial upgrade, it's an ancient technique that gives you 4% per each dynasty reached. Now it's back to 5%. It used to be 5%.
Okay. Now, Wam is moving out on the map here, building a tower already, but because he's got the spearman here, this is not going to be too much of a worry for him. These guys are going to be able to pop right back into this tower, and this secures the berries in a way, but also the double gold or triple gold spawn on the same side. It feels like this is the problem when you have a spawn like this. When you have your triple gold on the one side, if you lose control of one side of the map, you lose access to all of your gold, while on on Louis' side, he has one side gold here and two of the other ones over there. Now, the scout is gonna come and look whether they will find some damage here. We do see that Daimyo Banner upgraded, which means we're gonna be getting a Uma Bannerman, and this is going to hit a little bit harder. Thank you for the raid, Mr. Beastie Cutie. Appreciate. I just want to, for those of you who just arrived, I just want to point out, this is our show match on the new patch with the new civilizations, and both players chose to play old civilizations in the final round. So, Corvin has mentioned just now that China got nerfed, Wham shut down the early game, and Louis just pulled the Wham wall playstyle. Just like that, in public. Disgusting.
Louis likes his little wall, his little walls, because every time when I play against Louis, he just does a little wall, and after that he just forgets. He's like, all right, well, I just did a little wall, and after that I'm not gonna make walls, unless when the stone wall inside of him connects, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna make like 200,000 stone walls, and I was like, oh, the Chinese Great Wall.
China's Great Wall. I actually need to make a note quickly. Give me 1 second.
It's okay. So, what you can see, Louis is playing out the casual Chinese style, which is the just spam units early on. Your gold economy will actually comes with just spamming units out. Wham is interacting with that. He is also making Yumi archers, plus he made a horseman with the bannerman. He does not care about the extra damage on his archers because he just wishes to snipe out the spearmen, so he doesn't need the extra damage on them.
So, does that mean we're just going to see a lot more horsemen coming out from Wham?
Exactly. Wham will spam the horseman with the bannerman, but at the same time, those villagers are kind of fine. Still, if he's pulling more villager, he has only one, since the tower is here, and also he's upgrading with an arrow slit.
No, I absolutely love the fact that he's still pushing the deer. And guys, this shows us that deer pushing is not dead, it's just situational. And what makes China different now is that we don't have a pro scout China with unlimited food. We don't have constant pressure coming out. It is now something where you actually have to work for your food. You just don't get permanent access to it. And with the berries running out, this is not going to be something he has access to for too long. We see the Batterman now getting connection onto the spear, but that's the beauty of it. They've got the reflective shield, and they are just going to absorb that damage like it's nothing.
So, as you can see, this little fight was actually really good for Wham, because he idled out the villagers, and he needs the food. Louis needs the food. So, Wham interaction so far is really good with the Japanese. Killing spearmen one by one, and the destroyer is exactly the same, but a little bit more with 10, but let's say it's the same.
This is a lot of investment into Yumi, though, but this feels pretty comfortable if you know that your opponent is not making any type of horse, and there's no stable coming on out. Louis, though, has gotten his +1 damage, and Wham not getting any of those blacksmith upgrades, and it kind of feels like last game when Louis was investing in a lot of the upgrades, and Wham was just going full ham. Oh, I would just say he's going raw against this. But now that's a Yumi Archibald against an Archer Archibald. And when you look at those two interacting with one another, Yumis are seen as a little bit weaker already just because of the HP. But how would you see that trade going in general?
Well, also because of their damage. So to receive back their damage, they need the Bannerman. But Wham did not go with that Bannerman. He instead went with the other one to make sure he can raid the villagers. And he's doing good. He already claimed 1 life of a villager. So I wonder if he loses his Bannerman, I'm pretty sure he's gonna make the other Bannerman that increases the Yumi damage.
And I love that he's pulling the units apart by just letting the Scout and the Bannerman split up, causing a little bit of idle time. And now he knows that the boys are out on deer. And again, this is not what you see out of China. We're so used to seeing Pro Scout China. Pro Scout China has been an absolute menace because you usually can't do much against it. But now, it's just
another villager.
Disgusting.
That's really good. That's 2 villager, even though he's gonna lose the Bannerman. He wishes to lose the Bannerman since he needs the Yumi Bannerman.
Disgusting.
And look at that.
Yumi Bannerman has been chosen, so this is going to mean that those Yumis are just a little bit better. Louis now, let's quickly see that villager split. He's going for Castle. And when Louis hits Castle, this is going to be a pretty easy transition into Lancers, I say, as he's putting down the stable. And that's good against what your opponent is doing. But at the same time, Wham has a similar idea, and I'm guessing Mounted Samurai are not going to be too far off either.
Why does it sound like, sir, another Louis hit the castle?
Another Louis hit the castle. Is that from a military game?
No, it's 9/11.
Oh. Oh. These Europeans. Guys, moment of silence for Corvinus, his European ass. Oh my god, Corvinus, this is prime US time! What the hell, man? Ah! Oh my god! Sorry, guys. He's Hungarian. It happens. It happens.
It was an accident.
It was. Oh god! Stop! Now, Wham is gonna click that age up soon, and the floating gate is going to be dropped. But he doesn't have anything that he can do right now. The moment he hits Castle. He's getting his upgrades. Sure, they're going to be supervised. They're going to be fast. But Wham can just pull back behind these reinforced towers. And the Yumis, they are not going to mind taking this early feudal fight.
Also, he can, let's say, supervise the Yumi upgrade as well with the Yoroshiro placing inside a production building.
Let's go see if that's what he's gonna do. No. He thinks Mounted Samurai.
That's Mounted Samurai. He's like, I don't care. It's time to make Mounted Samurai.
The moment the archers hit veterans, here we see him engaging, and there's already boys garrisoned inside, villagers garrisoned at the gold as well. He's trying to do as much damage here without losing too many himself. Now, instantly queuing up Mounted Samurai. He doesn't care about the Yumi upgrade at all. He needs Mounted Samurai, but the problem is this outpost is going to go down. Few villagers will go too, but the whole army is paying the price.
Not bad for them, even though he's gonna lose 5 villagers. Oh, villagers lost 3 villagers. Because he just literally cleared up the whole army. And look at that, there's no more archer from Louis. And Wham has the Mounted Samurai. And we all know the Mounted Samurai is actually the best knight in Castle Age. There is no better knight than Mounted Samurai in Age of Empires 4 currently.
You know what makes them an even better knight? The fact that his opponent is not going for spears. So those knights are going to be so wonderful to see in a 1v1 against the Knights of Mr. China. And let's see if he's actually going to be doing that. Wham being a little bit more careful here, not wanting to lose those. He did have a few games here where he was over-investing quite a few of those.
I can tell you that I spent 20 hours to test out knight versus knight. So this knight, that knight, this situation, that situation. And fun fact, Mounted Samurai have not lost a single fight against any other civilization in Castle Age.
Even House of Lancaster with the...
Yeah, they won against House of Lancaster Knights.
Even with the bonus.
Yeah, they did.
Oh! That's pretty disgusting. Okay.
Yeah, Mounted Samurais are disgustingly strong.
Well, these guys are going to be running around. He knows exactly what Louis is lacking, and what that is professional scouts from the previous season. The season you guys are all stuck on, because the patch hasn't hit yet. So for those of you playing ladder, I hope you enjoyed China Pro Scouts. It's gone in 2 days, so I hope you guys are ready.
No, the patch is live.
Oh, it's live?
Live.
The changes...
I know because I'm playing ranked.
Okay, and the changes are already in. Lancaster is nerfed.
Yes.
Pro Scouts is dead.
Yes. So you can't just play with the new season, that's it. But the patch is live, and I seen only one game against me.
Yes.
A guy played like 1,800 Elo Conqueror, played Pro Scout against me, and he asked me, why is the deer gone when he delivered to TC? I was like, well, Pro Scout doesn't work anymore.
Wait, how expensive is it? It's still pretty expensive.
Yeah, but he was pro scouting from the corner, right?
Oh.
And if you do that, you actually, when the scout goes back to TC, it goes down to 0. So it doesn't have food anymore.
Okay. So Pro Scout's not worth it anymore. Okay, got it.
Not really. Even in Dry Arabia, you lose 350 food total from the first deer camp. From the first deer camp.
Oh, that's...
So that's one deer.
That's a pretty big... It's a pretty big reason to not go Pro Scouts. I can definitely see why we haven't seen this from Louis. But I think with a lot of these... Ooh, this is not a wheelbarrow civilization right now. Look at that. Louis doesn't have a wheelbarrow for those villagers. They are walking so slowly. And especially when you have villagers that need to move this far out for food. This feels pretty tough.
There is a reason behind that. The reason behind that, because if you don't get wheelbarrow, the more taxes you will receive. Because the villagers will drop off more often than when they have wheelbarrow, right? So they have to collect 15 drop-off. Which one is better? When you have 10 drop-off or 15 drop-off? Of course the 10, because you're saving up more and more taxes.
It's Corvinus, you are like, you are like a dictionary.
I am.
It's wonderful. I'm really, really thankful that you exist. I really appreciate it. So, man, you just have all the knowledge.
Fun fact.
Give me fun facts.
I almost became a history teacher.
You would have been a great one. But would it be... Oh, imagine you could be a gaming history teacher. I feel like you would have a lot of fun facts. It's never too late, Corvinus. Now you're a pro gamer.
I had a chance. I was young. I was 19, finished the school, etc. I was like, cat cam or history teacher? Cat cam.
Cat cam?
Yeah, that's informatics stuff. Cat cam, informatic engineer.
Great.
Yeah,
How much?
I choose that.
I bought fast. Corvinus did not give a specific number. Did you give a specific number on how much food is lost?
Oh, which one?
Oh, on when they have, what is that thing called? When they have wheelbarrow. I think it's 5 per drop-off, because of course you carry 5 more.
Yes, it's 5. So, again, the reason behind that, because if they have 10, they carry 10, they will drop the 10 immediately, right? But if they have 15, that means the more less turn they need to do, which equals that you will receive less taxes, and that's why you don't rush the wheelbarrow with China and Sushi, because you will receive more taxes if you don't have the wheelbarrow. If you have wheelbarrow, you're gonna receive less taxes.
But taxes, it's just pure resources, right? It's just gold.
Yeah.
When is it worth it? Yeah, you do need it, but don't you need food more? Isn't this one of those instances where you can argue, hey...
But you will not make food more. Right? It's suddenly you will not make more food because you have more carry capacity. You just take less turn.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Makes sense. Okay. Completely understood. So, we're getting a little bit of boar play here. The boar is a little bit angered as we are just annoying him a bit. And the monk standing ready to, I was going to say, to heal a villager up that takes damage, but no. He's just going for a good old sacred site, or a recapture thereof at least. Louis, though, he is at quite a bit of a disadvantage here, because now Wham is already starting to switch. And with 5 Spearman and Q, you know this is not going to be just a quick switch. Lance is taking quite a bit of damage.
Yes, there's a huge mistake, because Louis is playing kind of like the old... That China that he was expecting that he's going to do Pro Scout, but he's not doing Pro Scout. He's in Song Dynasty, but not making any granaries, because he just entered into Song Dynasty. While Wham already has a huge set amount of farms and sitting on 1,200 food per minute stable economy, right? So when we are talking about the games, it's important to say yes, Louis has high food per minute. He has, but that's not stable food per minute, because as soon as the deer runs out, that food per minute will drop down suddenly, right? It's like eating sugar. Suddenly, boom, you don't have energy anymore after 20 minutes. So Wham, he has this stable 1,000 food per minute, while Louis will go down to like 200 or 300 food per minute because he doesn't have farms.
Yeah, I mean, this is something he's investing... Oh, I would say he's investing into, as he had a lot on wood. But it does seem like he's repositioning the boys at the moment. This is a pretty scary raid to run into right now. But honestly, this feels like a fight that Louis needs to take with the reinforcements being his towers here. It doesn't look like Wham wants to commit to this just yet. He's doing a little bit of a slower food transition, as he doesn't have that same level of panic in him. The berry patches are only running out now, and Louis, yeah, he's going to be snacking on the last set of those. The boar also not feeding too many vills, and this is going to be very, very exposed soon. And this is something Wham is used to. He sees the attack doesn't work, he knows the army has moved down, so he just asks himself, where am I attacking next?
And also point out that Wham actually put the Euroshiro inside the farmhouse, so he's making food from the farmhouses around his main TC.
Oh.
Main TC.
Oh, main TC. Yes. Yes. Got it. Nice. Oh, big
so
brain.
That's like cattle ranches, by the way.
That's actually pretty decent. Wow. And if we go take a look now, we see 1,000 food per minute, but the one is stable.
That's what I'm talking about, stable.
And Louis, on the other hand, he's getting great income, but it's just for now.
He's slowly transitioning granary in the corner, I can see already. But he doesn't have that many farms. That's a very small amount of farm to 3 granary. Oh, big fight.
Big fight. Big casualties. Very chunky casualties at that.
I mean, I think Wham can take that fight, like, without hesitation. Palace guy.
Now, Wham is still planning on utilizing the resources out here, but it could mean that his attention is split. He hasn't noticed this at all yet. The one villager, he pulled back, but the rest of them, never mind.
No.
Samurai's on the way. One villager paid the price, but now this is the point where Louis can catch up in villages, because you mentioned he just went for Song Dynasty. The problem is just, he went for Song Dynasty, but he doesn't really have the time. The Boar boys are going to be in danger pretty soon, as these 2 towers will house them for a while, but the army was just forced to move north. Because now this army is big enough to split Louis in 2.
Interesting that he doesn't have any siege. Like, if I see Beastie playing this, right, he would have like 20 Nestor bees and I would like, be siege the cutie. But as Chinese, it's so weird that not seeing any Nestor bees on the field, right? Because usually when you see players that play China or Zushi, they have like a crazy amount of Nestor bees.
This is absolutely disgusting. Wham is now the one putting this type of pressure on. He's ensuring that he uses the mobile units to rotate around, forcing the army to move, with the not-so-mobile units as well, the spearmen. And at the same time, keeping his main composition on the one side to ensure that the pressure keeps going there. He's not looking at the Barbican and being like, oh, I need to attack into this, as we saw from the previous times. He's rather knowing exactly when to rotate. And this one little samurai causing quite a bit of trouble there, as some of the army stayed behind. But now this looks like a pretty scary moment here. Wham could overcommit, but at the same time I think he's ready with all those spears, and the spears being out of position for Louis. This feels pretty good.
That's really good. Archers are easily focusing on the spearman, while the Onamusha in the background just melting down the knights. You can see he's microing all the Onamusha to kill the Louis knights, and the mounted samurais are still tanking and still living, a good amount of them. Spearmen as well helping out, and again Louis has only crossbow, which means they are not doing really well against advanced spearmen. Archers are melting down, and the food per minute we were talking about, Louis did not really fully finish the granaries, even though he has a lot of farms, but he just started to gather food out of those farms. Wham is pushing it, still a huge army for you is just crazy. Well, if he had some nest of bees here, I'm pretty sure this would be look different.
Yeah, Nest of Bees against an army that was this tightly together could definitely spell this, put this game in a different perspective here for Louis. But honestly, Louis has been an absolute menace in a lot of these games. And I think seeing someone, Wham has been performing really well in the latest EGC tournaments as well. I think the fact that him and Louis are this closely matched in skill tells us that with these new civilizations that we saw today, they were pretty evenly matched. We went 2-2 in the series, and then finally we come to the good old civilizations to see what the score is going to be. The crossbows trying to focus, but the spearmen, as they're A-moving, is going to be their primary targets.
And as you can see, as soon as that army is cleaned up, there is a free way to go to the granaries, where Louis just set up all of his farm and he's stabilizing his economy. There is no chance for him to save the villagers' lives. Oh, Mounted Samurai has entered the game.
And now these guys are gonna make sure that Louis has had enough, and wham, bam, shazam, the man takes it. That was actually pretty interesting to see, though. I think between these two, I'm definitely excited to see what's going to come out of this. But we did see some trends, like you mentioned, Corvinus. There is the problem with our new Delhi, or KT, as we're going to be seeing on in this world, and I don't think a lot of us will be ready for dealing with that. Do you think we might see a pre-patch on this, or are we going live raw?
I hope so, because I just give you a link. You can even show it to chat as well. You need to watch that and react. I want to hear you reacting.
Let me just quickly screen share with people here as well. Let's check it out. Oh God.
Yeah, prepare, because you're gonna suck your teeth right now, like. Yeah. Just watch the villager and watch how many archers are going to hit. Yeah. Look the villager. Don't die.
Holy shit, poor Myriad. I'm telling you, Myriad had to smoke after that.